All right, guys. Hey, glad everybody's with us. We got the viewers starting to tune in, and we are live here on the Area 51 Alien Factory podcast. Our special guest this week from FastLane Racing is Brandon Burkhart. Brandon's there on in his webcam, and we're glad to have him with us today.
How you doing, Mike?
Doing good, man. liking the beard. You got a pretty decent beard you're sporting there.
Yeah, I drop stuff when I'm eating it. I can get it later in the race.
Yeah, get a snack. Yeah, later in the race. Who needs a cup holder, you know?
Yeah.
Or somewhere to set your snacks.
If you haven't flatbedded me yet, and I get to pit and continue racing, and I get hungry.
Yeah, it happens. Also, we got the man, the myth, the legend, and the number one team driver, Mr. Robert Cook, here with us.
Well, hello, Mikey. We're gonna. I don't know what to say.
Robert, that's
pretty good.
That's your wife. Put your picture up there.
I don't have one. You don't want to see my. I'm wanted by the FBI, and I can't show. I can't show myself.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's in a witness relocation program.
That's better.
Hey.
That's better.
Well, hey, the man that's already on the camera there showing up is the Admiral himself, Tracy Rumschlad. How you doing, Trace?
Drop your beer, grab your gear. The Admiral's here. Hey, we're doing good. Back for another one.
Hey, you know, that's a good thing, I guess. It depends how many times you get wrecked. And then and we got Scooter, Scotty Stevens. I don't know if he's back yet. There he is.
I'm here, yeah.
How you doing, Scotty? You been turning laps at Pocono?
Man, I tell you, Pocono is going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be a lot of green flag racing because it's going to spread out after a couple laps, and you'll be a single car just running along.
I hope cautions there take forever. You need
that's
to get
exactly
a room.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, you need to get a room if you have a caution. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I don't expect any cautions after one or two laps. I mean, everybody who wrecks will be clear over the track, you know.
Have you ran there before?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Did you run there last year?
I'm gonna side with Robert on this one. I don't have that kind of faith in that.
I've ran there a few times.
Well, I have a feeling coming out of the pits, the guys coming out of the pits are not going to pay attention to the guys on the track, and they're just going to scoot up there and just take some people out, and then you're going to have your self spin, and then you're going to have your wall hits, and people go, tunnel turn. You're going to get people wrecked. There are going to be spins everywhere.
I think in the last practice I was in with Burkhart, I think I beat him.
Yeah, you did. Yep. Yeah, I didn't.
Well,
I was just messing with the old setup.
Probably won't beat you in a race though.
We'll only give some advice for Pocono, and it's so Pocono is like a road course as far as pit strategy. You don't go down a lap when you pit. So I've seen people use the strategy, of pitting a bit. I don't know. I've seen people run out their fuel, not pitting to see if there's a caution. But I've also seen people be like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to split it halfway or whatever and go in, and they don't go a lap down as long as can stay ahead of the leader. And then if a caution comes out later in the race, no big deal. You're still in the lead lap. You just go get new tires again, and you're good to go.
So what would you do like if you missed the pits?
That would suck.
What would be the play there if you missed the pits?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go like hell to get around again.
That's a pretty big pit entrance there at Pocono.
I would just sit there and wait and let the caution come out and then apologize.
There you go. It's not like Darlington.
Oh, when you run out of gas.
I knew what I was talking about.
Hey, Mike told somebody to park it the other day at New Hampshire, and the guy did right in the middle of the track.
Robert.
I did that.
Wow.
No, Robert.
Go ahead and tell
Yeah,
the
the guy was complaining about his car setup, and he was going on. I'm struggling anyway at New Hampshire, and I just got tired of him. I said, "Why don't you just go ahead and park it?" And then pretty soon a caution comes out, and the guys go, "He stopped in the track." I meant for him to go in the pits.
That guy told me to do it
on the track.
He parked it all for himself out. I go, oh man, okay.
That's hilarious. You should try that more often.
Yeah.
Maybe you get more of the guys to quit.
Yeah.
Well, for new guys, my nephew used to pull guys, about getting.
Are you guys still hearing about this nephew that doesn't exist? Is he still on about this?
I've seen him. I've actually seen him.
Okay.
When he was there helping Robert with his computer, he put it. Robert turned his. We did like a Google Duo video call.
Yeah.
And I saw the nephew. He exists.
He even saw me. He even seen me.
I even saw Robert. I think I'm the only one that's ever saw Robert's face.
You might be right.
Yeah, I got long hair, ball on top, long hair, and a beard. So Kind of looks like you in a way.
Long hair, bald on top, and a beard.
Yeah, that kind of look like. But I
That's
wear
about
glasses. I
Jesus.
wear glasses, and my hair is blonde instead of dark. If you can just go ahead and just swap your stuff around, it'd be the same. But
Right,
I'm also older, so there you
Yeah.
go. Got more wrinkles.
You're still spry.
Oh my goodness, dude. Anyway.
Yeah, I
What
want
are
to be
you
one of the
sitting on?
oldest.
What is that? Somebody's
Huh?
seat's squeaking like crazy.
It's mine.
Don't
need
you
to
get
get a
enough
new
money
one.
on Sundays in that plate to buy you a new chair?
Hey, stop it. I ought to. My wife
I like
keeps
the
telling
way
me
his
to
ears
just go
keep
buy a new one.
disappearing.
Where does ears go?
They
You don't
keep
have any. You don't
disappearing.
have
That's
His
'cause of
ears
the
keep
background.
disappearing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
wow.
background thing.
Looks like
Anyway,
Lex Luthor.
yeah. But my problem is I'm too cheap, Brandon. A good new chair cost me at least $200. I mean,
Oh, I know.
I can't have a hard time parting with it when I can still set in this
What
one.
wheelbase do you have now?
I had the DD1.
You got rid of it?
No, I got the DD1.
Yeah, you traded it to like a blind kid for a parrot with its head cut off, like on Dumb and Dumber or something, right? You ripped somebody off. You got that thing on the flea market, or
I did trade it, yeah, but not
Yeah.
trade it from like CS or my CSW.
That was smart.
Plus $600. I mean,
that's a good deal. That kid don't need money. He'll be all right.
yeah, exactly. Well, it was back when video cards were real expensive, and he was wanting the cash to put down on a video card or whatever.
I bought
and
one
so-
during that. Yep.
Oh, I did too. I bought a
I bought it
38.
from Aaron. He bought a 3080 Ti and I bought his 3070. So I made out pretty good, but
Yeah, I had a 3070 Ti I bought during that, and then sold it and bought a 3080 off Amazon. Amazon had, like, it was no joke. I was sitting there talking to somebody, and I was just on the couch, and I was like on Discord or something. I was on my phone, and I was flipping through Amazon. All of a sudden, bam! It had like 25 3080s in stock,
I think
and
I
I
seen that
bought it
too.
immediately. And it was like $1,300. And
Ooh.
back then, that was like
Yeah.
that was cheap. Yeah, I mean, they were going for like $1,600 or so back then. And I was
Did you
like,
look on
"Holy cow."
Prime Day? They were cheap. They pissed me off on Prime Day. You
Oh,
could
I
get one for
know.
like $600.
Don't even get me started on that, because I just said, hey, I enjoyed it for for like 5 or 6 months before
Yeah.
price came down, whatever. But I saw it, and I was like, oh man, I bought it. And the time I checked out, they were all gone. And then I got it at the house, and then I had a 3070 Ti before that. I bought off Facebook Marketplace Local for like, I can't remember, like 1150.
You
or
live
something like.
in the woods, Mike. What do you mean Facebook Marketplace local? You go to the top of a tree and go, I'm looking for a 3080.
Well, what are the prices for a 3080 now?
Now they're
I don't know,
regular.
750, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, but I sold my 3070 for about the same price I paid for a 3070 Ti for like the same price I paid for.
That's
So I
not
kind of
bad.
broke even there. I got
Yeah.
I got to pick up like 1150 out of it or whatever. But and I only had it for like 2-3 months before I swapped.
You notice a big difference between the 70 and the 80?
No, I mean, yes, and I mean, so when I play games, I get to turn up settings an extra few,
Right.
because I got a 4K monitor that I game on, so a 43-inch 4K TV is what it is, and I game
Nice.
anyway. So I run all my games at 4K. So instead of running, medium high mix on stuff, I was running high at 4K. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. I thought my biggest problem was I was chasing a problem in iRacing that was an issue in a setting, and it wasn't my card, and it wasn't iRacing. I use where I race in VR, I use Race Lab apps as my overlays because they're in VR. Well, by default, hardware acceleration is turned on, and it's broken, and it cripples video cards. And I had a 1080, and I couldn't get good frame rates, and it was horrible. And I had all the settings turned to low in iRacing, couldn't figure it out. Bought the 3070 Ti, same thing. I turned everything down, getting crappy frame rates. And so I was like, well, maybe I should need a more powerful card. So about the 3080, same thing. And all these guys are telling me, like, you're crazy. It's your overlays. And like, they only use like 2 or 3% CPU power. How are they causing the problem? Well, I dug and got to like Reddit and all these and iRacing forums and everywhere. And somebody found, and finally the guy who makes the Race Lab apps published the issue in his frequently asked questions that if you're using VR to go disable that hardware acceleration, it fixes it. And it did. I probably would have been fine with my 1080.
I had the same problem with Discord. They have the same thing, the hardware acceleration,
Yeah.
and it was eating up my processor too.
Yeah. And it was horrible. I don't know what the problem was, but it was. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So if anybody's using VR and Race Lab apps, go into the settings, disable the hardware. You're racing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can
You've got-
multitask.
you got the Fanatic NASCAR wheel, don't you?
Yeah. Yep.
I like to tell on the top. Yeah.
Just as the rim. I don't use that 2.5 anymore. I got a semi-cube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you're using the semi-cube button box or whatever, and just stuck the NASCAR rim on it?
No, I have an Asher Racing wireless button box that I got with this because I bought it used and ripped somebody off too, just like you did. I used the
I didn't rip anybody off.
I took those Derek Spears button boxes I have that are built for the 2.5 and I just made some plates and modified them and bolted them. So I've got plenty of buttons on that.
So Trace, once you get ahead, I know Brandon, man, you got a lot of stuff that you've done, and I want to get into that a bit. Let Trace kind of get into it.
As long as the statute of limitations is out, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, there you go. And,
25 years.
But I know even some cool
In
stuff.
some cases, is lifetime. Let me tell you.
You've even got some real life racing mixed in there, all kind of cool stuff. So I'm gonna let Tracy go ahead and start. He'll do a deep dive in your background, kind of talk to you a little bit, and let everybody find out about you. We like to sometimes we brought on setup shop owners. We brought on.
Did you keep them? Did you let them go? You should have kept all the setup shop owners.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, no, we've had Nathan Waddell on as he became a dirt pro a couple times. Tommy Gossett doing Road to Pro brought him on and featured him. But we like to just bring on guys from the community, be open and stuff that we race with a lot, and just kind of let everybody find out about them. So Trace is gonna do that, and he called it the face that runs the place because it was some of the setup shop guys, and they were the owners, and we bring them on. But we kind of kept the name, even though you're not running the thing.
Oh, it's good you have the video.
With Brandon being here, I got it fixed. So instead of the face that runs the place, we're going to be the face that's in the race because that's what he's doing.
All right.
We're going to interview Brandon while he's racing. So this is a first for the show, but I'm telling you what I love.
Hey,
where are you racing at?
I'm just in a Pocono test with Robertson and Bruno.
I want to say Brandon's
some other cheaters.
Brandon's so addicted he can't stop just to even do the podcast.
Yeah, it don't matter if I wreck. It don't count. Just practice, as the D licenses say.
The face that's in the race. Anyhow, Brandon, what we want to do is we want to just find out about you personally. Okay. We want to find out, where you started, how you got into iRacing, that kind of stuff that you want to tell people about you. Okay. What you want them to know. We know you're into iRacing. Do you have a real race background? And if so, when did you start? What did you do before we had tonight? Before we got together.
My dad bought a car in '99. So I was 13 going on 14.
And you've been walking before he bought a car?
Yeah. He had I was in a car seat, little wheels and stuff. But he bought a street stock for Bearfield up in Fort Wayne, Indiana in '99.
Is that where you live? It's in Indiana?
Yeah. I live just south of Indy now.
Okay.
And I helped, I remember scraping the stickers off and sanding the paint and everything real young. And he wasn't that good. My dad kind of drives like a little girl, so it didn't. You just watch them as they go by. Kind of like Robert. 5 laps go.
I thought you were going to mention my name. I figured that.
So the next year, my grandpa was a big part of it. He was there constantly, morning, noon, night, and he's like, "We should get Brandon a car," and started working on my car. And he actually died working on my car. It's not your fault, Robert. So my dad,
maybe.
So my dad wanted out. He quit racing. He's like, "I'm done with it," and I kind of took over and ran for a few years. Young like that, borrowing people's trailers, getting off, my crappy job with my race car parked in the parking lot on a trailer. People are like, "You can't do that." Well, I just did. Seems to be fine with me. Did that for a while, and then when I turned 18, I moved to Mooresville, North Carolina. Like, if you want to sing country music, you moved to Nashville, so same kind of deal. And that's when I learned very quickly that it doesn't work like that. If you're not coming with a big paycheck or got a certain last name or.
Now, were you trying to get a job in the racing industry down there?
No, I went there to race. I turned down lots of jobs in the racing industry.
Oh, okay. So you went down to race. Okay.
I ran some dirt modified stuff. I ran the Tuscan Late Model Series. I ran at Hickory and Tri-County and all over the place in North Carolina. And then.
Did you ever run at Lonesome Pines in Virginia?
Up
by Bristol? That place is like a mini Bristol.
I just ran at Bristol here 2 years ago. But I haven't, I don't know Lonesome Pines.
Okay. Now you say Bristol, did you run the asphalt or did you run the dirt?
The asphalt.
Okay. What were you running there? Super late?
No, CRA street stock special they had there. Super late ran the same night though.
Okay.
Cool. Actually, they had 3 different divisions, I think. But when I got back, I joined the Army in 2011. That stuff went to hell. I couldn't afford to live down there. I bought a house during the whole housing crisis thing. The first one, real young. I don't know why you would approve an 18-year-old for a house. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I gave it back to the bank at a pretty good rate. And then, then came back here after, you know, kind of doing some other stuff and went to work, and then somehow decided I was going to join the army. That all went by. I got hurt in Iraq in 2011 and retired. And so when I was sitting around doing nothing, my wife wanted to go to a local little track that's around here, Indianapolis Speedrome. It's a little 5th mile parking lot, crappy.
I've actually been there.
That Brayton Laster kid that got to run an ARCA race by how, I don't know, and a truck race on dirt a couple weeks ago, which he must have given, you know, his 6 remaining teeth for, comes from there. It's not the pinnacle of racing in Indiana that all those hillbillies make it out to be, but we went, and I hope I don't offend anybody if you like that place.
No, I still got 4.
So,
14.
So we went one time, and I had a car by that Friday that week. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be around it. And I went one time, it was on. So I got back into racing, now I have money though. So I'm like, well, I'm not getting beat because I don't have the best this. Now I'm not getting beat because I don't have the best. I spent a lot of money in a short period of time kind of moving up and going and getting, you know, bought a late model, all that kind of stuff. And then it was taken every weekend, every summer, everything. My daughter was getting older and older and older. So kind of said, I'll just quit. We'll buy this house in this wonderful HOA and wave at my neighbors I don't like every day and smile and stuff until she turns 18, and then I'll get back in it. So it's a hiatus, and that's what iRacing is about. That's what I thought. Well, they let Kevin Harvick's fat little kid do it on TV. It shouldn't be that hard. I'll go ahead and try it.
So how long have you been in iRacing now?
I think it'll be what is it? You got a fart or something, Mike? You all right? So they're giggling.
No, I'm just laughing. But I got my mute one. I got my mic on mute because my chair squeaks.
My bad.
Because I'm too cheap to buy a new one.
I'll get
with
you
a,
one. I'm
with
gonna
a,
send
with
you
a
a chair.
BB1 direct drive wheel over there on
Yeah.
my 80/20 sim racing rig.
He's got no shoes. Those are probably real cars in the background.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna get you a chair. So yeah, I've been on iRacing since I think Christmas. My wife bought me the gaming computer Christmas of 2 years ago. So I didn't understand the seasons and stuff yet, but that would have been season 1 of 2020. So I don't have any season 4 19 races. But that's when I started. And I ran, well, here I'll tell you, I ran an ungodly amount. I've never been injured like as a stress injury from doing stuff in a real race car. I've ran a lot of stuff that didn't handle. It was hard to hang on to and stuff, and really tense shit. Never been like, oh, my hand, or I got calluses. This thing has destroyed me. I limp. Like I pulled a tendon in my foot. I got calluses all over the place. Like it's ridiculous.
Turn the
But
force
yeah, I'd say-
feedback down a little bit. Maybe that'll help.
No, I can't.
So when I met you, you weren't on it very long then, huh?
No, yeah, I
don't-
met you guys. That was that first auto club when I got with you and Dakota and everybody. That was that, you know, first part of season 2020. So
Yeah,
I just-
2020 was
we
all
all
the new
started
build.
at the same time, pretty much. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started in March of 2020, and
I started.
I
into
started a little bit
April.
before that, I think.
I started into April 2020.
yes, well, that's when all the racing went bad. When Howard
Yeah.
started.
When I started.
Yeah, I started back
That's
in
when
2009.
COVID came out and everybody needed something to do at home. So
Yeah, I started in
Oh, no,
I
that
2009.
was-
started iRacing.
And then,
COVID
like you
was,
said,
COVID that way?
yeah, when COVID came out,
Yeah, COVID- everybody's a COVID baby.
it went to crap. iRacing went to crap. But that's what I felt.
Well, I mean, they all have their own. Once they get your money, they don't care. Like I own everything. I have every track, every car, all that stuff. So I got to be
It's the
careful.
racers that went to crap. The races,
Right.
We didn't have long races anymore.
I
You know,
got
we used-
protested 3 times last week, I think, and they're all they're all for
Last week,
chat.
huh?
They're all for chat stuff. You know?
No way.
People don't like
No, not Brandon Burkhart.
Got their
No,
feelings
really
hurt.
not.
You got to give everybody a medal. It's okay that you drive like a 500-year-old woman. Your feet. Oh God.
You talk to everybody. You talk to everybody that way. Even when
Yeah, I
we were
don't
in
give a
Discord. When we were in Discord, you got me and Timmy. You just beat the hell out of us with your
Yeah.
verbally.
And it didn't work.
No,
Didn't
it didn't work. It didn't work.
My first race on here was, tell you, if I learn how to work the website, and yeah, 2020, which was, it was actually 19, but 2020. And that first year I ran, wow, 1,142 oval races.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
before 21.
serious. Now, is that all B or just everything?
No, I run everything. I still run everything. Everything. Yeah.
Are
Me
you a
and
dirt
Brandon,
guy
we've
too?
ran MX5s together and
Yep.
F3s together.
Yep. Yeah, how did I know he was in the MX5 race? I remember somebody going, "Oh, you wiped me out the corner." And Mike goes, "You wiped me out in the corner." And I seen his name pop up on the thing. I was like, "Oh,
Is that who got you to Glenn?
No, it wasn't Brandon. No,
Oh,
that was the race I think he's talking about.
Okay.
yeah." So then in like 21, I ran 900, and this year I ran like 360. Because it does, if you want to be serious, you kind of got to chill out a little bit, not run everything. But I would go from the B race is over. There's 4 minutes until the ARCA race. Run the ARCA race. Oh, I got wrecked. Hurry up, leave. Run the A race. It was nonstop.
Well, you're up early in the morning. I see you sometimes early in the morning. And you're racing. Yeah.
Well, that's when my
Hey,
wife
you got to
and
get
kids
the
are asleep.
Geritol races in, man.
Yeah, I'm only 37, bro. No, those are Ricky Uddings. Those are the Ricky Udding spectaculars at 8 in the morning.
I'm only 30 years older than you are.
Dude,
I don't understand.
I want to get Ricky Udding on here to talk about using his Microsoft Sidewinder for 20 years.
He got rid of it, man.
I know he did.
Well, he didn't get rid of
that
it.
thing forever.
It's in a glass case. It's in a glass case. He mounted it.
He needs to put it in there so it's like a gaming museum or something.
His house
I
is a
had one of
gaming
those
museum.
back in the day. Huh?
His house is a gaming museum.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. He's got a picture of him with like an old, I don't know, 86-pound computer monitor and that Sidewinder and like a dot matrix printer and like an oil lamp for light and shit. And he's racing on it.
Dude, speaking of chat protest, I protested with you one time for chat.
Yeah, that was awesome, bro.
That
was awesome.
I remember that race.
Yeah, it was Nashville Fairgrounds like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think I was in that race too.
And Chris Jenkins was in there with us, and it was just like a
Who?
demolition
Yeah,
derby.
I don't know her.
wrecking
Who's
each
Chris
other.
Jenkins?
It's a guy, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brad and I
Chris
and John and all of us were racing together against you, and you had the whole team mad at you, Mikey. You all
I'll tell you what. Honestly though, I wish
He's the Ross Chastain of iRacing. He is.
Yeah.
That is Mike Howard.
I wish,
Yeah, he used to be bad, man. He's a bully on the track.
Yeah.
What he used to be.
Yeah,
just a dart.
I agree.
with
There's
no
no agree.
feathers.
Yeah.
He still does to some respect.
Well,
Now he's got backup.
Hey, gamer girl Kayla says, "Man, that's a heck of a lot of oval racing you've been doing, Brad." I had almost 900 my first year too, and that was just from April to December. I was doing a crap. That's why we got into all those scuffs on the track.
We were in every race together. Yeah,
every race. Yeah, and it just escalated because nobody ever forgets what happened the last race.
Yeah.
So
and setups. I was way off on setups. I've always done my own setups, and I would look at things from a real world perspective, and I want the car to do this, so I'm going to change this and blah, blah, blah. The best thing could ever happen for me for iRacing is if I never raced it in real life.
Yeah.
The way stuff works on the sim is not right. It's not real. It's not
even close.
Well, I'm starting to learn some of it with Tracy helping me. I know nothing about real cars, so I'm just like,
I know.
well,
You subscribe to like 400 different setup subscriptions, I think, or something like that.
No, yeah, what I do now? I got pay to win. My Maconi just ran out, and then I bought Ryko last week, and then I got Major's Garage for my road course stuff. Ridgeway Racing for F3.
There you go. Spit it out. That's good.
Easy for you to say.
VRS. But anyway, but
how was Ridgeway Racing? Did that go?
Wait.
I like Ridgeway Racing. He only does F3s, $5 a month. Anyway,
shout out to Ridgeway. That's good.
Yeah,
good
I always shout all of them out when I'm running
I'll
the
hook
set.
that up.
But a lot of times though, I subscribed to a lot of them because I was doing that setup shop review series on our on the YouTube channel. I had a playlist
I did see that.
Yeah, so I was subscribing to a lot of them for that and different stuff. But the only ones I'm going to keep like long term is obvious. I want to keep VRS and Majors because they're $10 a month each.
VRS, you just need it for the telemetry. It's worth it for that.
Yeah, I use Motec for that. But anyway,
their qual sets are good.
Yeah, their qual sets are good, I think. And then
you ever looked at them?
No, I just run them, and I usually
same thing as the qual set the last week.
Yeah, I looked at them.
But
hey, I like it. I think it was pay to win.
Yeah,
the same setup they had last year.
Yeah,
for the New Hampshire.
Why wouldn't they? Why would they?
Well, did you
hear
exactly
the same one?
Did you hear?
I looked at both of them.
If you didn't watch last week, Brandon, this is hilarious. They've been doing that recently. I don't want to trash pay to win. I mean, I like the guys.
Let's do it. It's the trash pay to win segment.
No, it's not. But Scott Lamp bought it off David Lamb. David Lamb kind of checked out doing stuff.
He bought it.
Yes, that's a whole nother discussion.
I want to see any of these companies' taxes. Is what I want to see.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
he purchased for whatever the price was. I think it was a decent amount. Purchased pay to win from David Lamb.
20 iRacing dollars.
And he's been running it for a while, but since that happened, and they're doing like $15 a month for everything they have. It's a subscription now, which you get dirt, asphalt, everything. It's a pretty good deal. But
how much is it?
$15 a month.
Well, hell, that's not bad.
Dirt and asphalt. No, and they're better setups than VRS. So I'm going to keep that one. But what Scotty said, a lot of times you're getting the exact same setup they had the previous season. But if it was fast then, it's fast now. I mean,
well, they had last year Atlanta. Was it pay to win they had last year Atlanta?
That's what I was about to get to. They've been doing that so much lately, using previous setups that Atlanta changed, and it's the super speedway chassis now. And they just uploaded last year's set that Ty Severa built, and I downloaded it at the beginning of the week, and it was all red, like nothing past tech, because it was the wrong chassis. And I want to know how many people downloaded that before somebody said something to them. They ended up fixing it with the one that worked at Atlanta, but I laughed about that for a while on the podcast last week, that I went and downloaded the set and it was all
I get it with VRS, especially this year, because I did like that private class thing with Keegan and stuff, just to see if there was something sim wise I had just not been noticing, and it did help a lot of stuff.
Was it a one-on-one with him?
No, I've done that too. When John Vanderwall got the team, the 4 or 5 of us to do a small hour with him, but this was like a setup building class and then a driving class, and it was like $100 or whatever for however many sessions. But and I would ask him questions like, "Why would you do this for this, and he's like, "Well, I don't know," or whatever. It's just there's things that are in their head. They know the sim when you do this, it's good, but they can't tell you why or what it does or what you know what I mean. And with them being on the next gen car now, they're all starting from scratch. Like if you watched any of the Coke races, it ain't the same people that are doing as good as the last few years. They're really struggling. Right. So
it's just like in real life. It's like these
get a new chassis, new car. Yeah, you got to figure it out. I tell you what I was going to say is I wish that back. This is what I was going to say a second if we got sidetracked. I wish that back when I first started, Brandon, I would have got hooked up with you guys before all that drama and stuff. Because
I finally seen your email you sent that I didn't know about. I had no idea you sent that email.
Well, I wish I would have because man, after we kind of let things die down and you reached out to me, we hung out for a while. It was great. Did we laugh and joke? Just like this podcast.
You reached out to Jose and you reached out to Ron.
That was
Jesus, you racist.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, you're right.
But the point is that, dude, it's hilarious. Like back when we were fussing on the radio and stuff and wrecking each other in races, you should have been in Discord with me. I was laughing the whole time.
I bet you were. You're a careless, heartless person.
No, not about that. About the radio. Like you guys make a comment about me, and I just laugh, and I'd say, and I'd make one back about you guys, and the guys in the Discord with me are laughing at me. They're like, "Mike, would you just stop?" And I'm like, "This is fun." I was like, "This is like cutting wrestling promos."
It is.
What were you gonna? You gonna take a crowbar to him or something? Was that?
I said,
"Yeah, what's that
story?"
We're
not at a real racetrack because I'd be waiting for you in the pits with a jack handle.
Yeah, and that's the one I clipped and sent in. I was laughing. I was like, I got him on this one.
And you should have heard all the offended little girls in the chat, like, "Oh, you threatened him," and I was like, obviously, none of you have ever drove a race car. You've never been anywhere that this happens because. If you do something to somebody on the track, you're gonna have to defend yourself when you get out. There ain't no just my bad. The iRacing car ran real good today. I wrecked half the field, and it's okay. No, I would whip your ass. There wouldn't be no.
Sorry, got loose, not intentional.
Yeah, that was one of your best. Yep. Oh, sorry, I got loose.
The dude just turned himself off my nose. I don't know why, but he did.
And he'd always apologize, like in a real passive aggressive, like, "Well, I'm sorry that you suck really bad and were in my way and I had to hit you." Always sorry.
That was some of my favorite Mike Cook comments. And Mike Cook is always like, "Sorry, got loose, not intentional."
That's not my responsibility. The car did that all by itself.
He said we were at Daytona one time. And it was either Daytona or Talladega, I can't remember. And Mike Cook was behind me, and I was pushing Doug Bell back when we were racing with Doug, and I was right on his bumper. No, he's back racing again. He won't talk to us. That's another
he's mad at us. Well, he's not really mad. Well, he's not mad at me. He talked to me yesterday.
Oh, well, he must be mad at me.
He talks to me whenever we get in the room together.
Well, it must just be me. Anyway, we were nosing. I was bump drafting, pushing me along, and Doug would drift up a little bit, but not much, just a hair. And I was still Mike Cook kept like putting his wheels down below the yellow line and getting underneath me and let me turn, and I was getting turned. He did it twice in one race, and I got mad at him and yelled at him or something. He goes, sorry, it was a spot there. I'm sorry you turned yourself across my nose or something like that, dude. And I about
no free popcorn for you.
Yeah, I was like, dude. I was like, you did it to me twice.
It's a problem with this sim and the way that most people have a problem. Like you talk about Ron on my team.
Yeah, so
he's
let's
the
talk
nicest
about that.
guy in the world.
So you're part of FastLane Racing.
Yeah.
Ron Walsh is on there.
Yeah.
And you and John
Ron
Vanderwall.
Walsh.
Ron Walsh too. Yeah. And not related in any way.
10,000 I rating between the two of them.
and Ricky Uddings with you guys. So go ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, we kind of split off from what used to be, what the hell was it called? Oh, FFS with Dakota and Chris Cornell, who's doing big things now, and Robert and Tim. We kept Tim Davis around for tax exemptions, and then Jesus, yeah. And it kind of became, there's like two of us working on setups, and everybody else just take, like every team, just take. And where's this? And why isn't this driving right? You know, well, you have to drive it like this to go fast. Well, I don't drive like that, you know, so it's like, okay, I'm good. So we kind of broke off. I took a little break, went on vacation, went out in Yellowstone and stuff like that with families. So they knew I was still live. And because I was like locked in this room daily, every day, nobody see me, and got back on, and then got back with Vanderwall and Robert, Jesus, and kind of just Dakota was out because he work and school and stuff. And then it was ding ding or whatever. And then we just kind of split off again because we had the same thing really happen. Where
dude, I love when you guys would ding ding and you had the big
I know.
DD. I used to call you guys the ding dongs.
Yeah, we know you did. You never said it to anybody's face. I know.
That was hilarious.
It was funny. Well, he just giggles and giggles. Ha! So funny. Yeah, you would slander us in the iRace community. Where'd your little head go? Bring your head. There it is. Okay. But yeah, and we're not a team like I don't know. Ron follows this stuff. He's like, oh, that's so and so. He used to be married to so and so. That's part of Pay to Win, and now he's with them. And then they got in a fist fight, so he went to Reaper. And I don't give a shit what team anybody's on or who they race with or whatever fake setups they use. I don't care. So really, we have our own Discord and we're all on and we race together. That's it. Not anything else to it. And right now, we don't have anybody really taking setups or anything, or complaining or expecting, or because a lot of times with teams, people will run you hard because they know you'll move because you're their teammate, but you're not.
Not our team.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah. I feel like you guys are like running down the track carrying Mike on your shoulders, like, don't drop Mike. Keep it up.
No, usually Mike's got his bumper up against our bumper, pushing us into the corner when we're trying to. Yeah,
just send it.
Yep, I tried to help my kid swim when she was little, tossed her in a pool. That's Howerton helping you guys on the racetrack.
Well, sometimes I don't want teammates anywhere near me, behind me, in front of me. I want them, just so far away. When they cause something, I don't want to be around.
Hey, that's nothing like when we were at Richmond last time. Hey, Scotty, I think these guys are about to wreck. Hey, Scotty, the racer, they're going to wreck. Hey, okay, so they're wrecking. Robert's like, okay, and we go low. Scotty go low, and all of a sudden he slams on his brake about 10 feet before he slams into my bumper, and he's like, what do you mean? I didn't know what was going on.
We were talking about this before we entered turn one. And Mikey said, well, wait a minute, they're going to wreck up here. I said, okay. I said, I'll go ahead and go low. And this is and Mikey said, they're wrecking. Okay, I'm going to go low. And so Mikey was supposed to follow me in down the back stretch.
I did. It's kind of hard to follow with Scotty's bumper on my car.
Scotty just didn't see anything and just smacked the hell out of Mikey.
I couldn't see nothing, and I wasn't really listening.
We were talking about it for 5 minutes,
and sometimes I tune them out because I'm so focused racing.
A lot of times I tune them out.
Yeah, I do. I tune out things like that because I'm focused on the track, and I didn't hear him.
You tell Scotty's been married a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. That's a big problem with people moving up into other classes too, is they just don't have awareness. They just don't know what's going on around them. Or like you'll be watching, some of you guys probably have different things, but I have sim racing apps, and I have the top however many and where they're at and what their pit stop was and what I'm going to lose in iRating because I wrecked, Mike wrecked me or something. I can see all that, and then you'll hear them talk like, man, how'd I get 3 laps down? Like, well, you're 5 laps down and you have been for half the race. Like they don't pay attention to anything. They don't know.
Here's my favorite one. Oh man, this is the open race. It's
Yes.
so long.
Oh my God, that drives me.
I thought this was fixed.
I mean, they didn't put the fixed on an even
That's a
hour
good one.
again.
I love that one.
I can't stand that. God. Or the guys, they're like, well, I'm out here on the fixed setup, so whatever. You
yeah.
still get out of my way
Or-
just
or-
as easily.
Or this is probably my all-time favorite. Hey guys, don't mind me. I'm just here for the safety
Rating. Yeah.
And they're at a short track.
They just
Or
got on the track.
Super speedway and their safety rating.
Yeah, they
The
go on the
super
track.
speedway
and
races are so irritating.
I was gonna say they go on the track and they practice for about 5 laps and then they join a race. And I go, go get some practice before you join a race. But no, they're just gonna join a race without hardly any laps on you. And then they're gonna have, well, I don't know why I'm so bad.
Yeah. We
Kinda
don't
like
either.
Atlanta.
I have no
that's-
clue, dude. No clue why you're horrible. Just
Yeah.
keep doing you. It's okay.
Everybody's
Just keep doing
defensive. Anybody you try to help too, they take that as, well, what do you know? Like you. Because I would send you messages like, man, you can't race people that way. Like you're
I
fast
know.
until your tires are gone. And then you're like, well, now I got to drag my car down these 8 cars. They're going to pass me and try to stop them. Like if you just calm down and not run so hard, you'd be great. But you
Yeah,
don't
that
wanna
was
hear-
my problem.
yeah.
I back when I started, I just played a bunch of single player racing games, and who cares if I wrecked every AI on
I
the
have a
track.
feeling you do a
You
lot of
know
stuff
I'm
by
faster,
yourself.
so move out of
Hey,
out of
that's-
my way. You know I'm faster. I caught you. You should have moved out of my way.
Yes. I'm going to make me a background picture while I'm here. I hope I don't pick the wrong picture on accident here.
Well, now,
There you go.
Robert, I have to say it's respectful. I mean, if there's a guy that catches me from 2 seconds back or 3 seconds back, and 5 laps later he's on my bumper, and we're only 20 laps in the race,
Wait
there's
for this
nothing
whopper.
wrong with just sliding over and letting them go by.
There isn't nothing wrong, but you don't
Nothing
ever
at
do
all.
it, Amber Heard.
I do
No,
too.
this is-
I do it all the time.
This is the
It's
biggest.
not for you.
That makes
Hey,
sense.
hold on. I was
No, hey, I like racing with you, Brendan
I do
Burkhart,
too.
and hey, I'll do that for you, man.
I know you do. You got a lot going on. man.
I
You got a lot
didn't.
to
I
deal with.
didn't 2 years ago though. 2 years ago, it was like, I think we were arch enemies back then.
I have so many. It's so hard to keep track of who all my arch enemies are.
Yeah, me too. In fact, that's how I met Mike Howerton.
I wrecked him. That's
no.
how I met a lot of people in here,
He
Brandon.
was pushing me through the corner right on my bumper and to get me loose. And I just, so the next corner, I just went up to the middle lane and let him by. And
Yeah.
he never said thank you or nothing, man. He just flew past me, almost run me off the road. And so I get on the radio and I said, "You're welcome, Mike." And he says, "Huh?"
Yeah. Well, because you didn't let him by to him. He was so talented that he just went around.
Oh,
you. That's
yeah.
what he thinks. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you finally see it my way, Brandon.
Yeah. Oh, I always have seen him. Like, watch out, guys. Mike Larson right there.
Yeah.
He'll get you. What else do you want to know? Where were we
Well,
at?
hey, I tell you what, let's. This is a perfect segue into our Wall of Shame segment. What we usually do that. In the
Oh
middle
yeah,
of
let
the
me pick
podcast.
5.
Well,
or
wait a
6.
minute. Well, what do you think? About, did we hit on that? Did you guys about the new guys and what do you think about iRacing in
You
general?
can
yeah.
do that while I'm
What about-
bringing this up. You can do that, Robert. Asking about that while I'm bringing this up.
Well, kind of did. Yeah, about the iRacing in general, how these new guys are coming up, and how I think how some of the racing has deteriorated.
Oh,
over
it's
the
definitely
years.
deteriorated. Yeah.
Isn't that what we were just talking about?
Kind of, but we went off on a let's talk about Mike Howerton tangent. Hang on.
Why not?
There's,
There you go.
Oh, it's such an easy target.
It is. There's not a lot I can say because I haven't been around like 10 years like Ron has or John or some of these other guys that have been on here forever. But COVID definitely made it worse. And around Christmas time, it gets crazy. And depending on where you race, like everybody has a bad look on ARCA, right? Like, oh, those ARCA races are crazy. Well, when you ran ARCA, you're probably a D license and you were in the splits with, the other no I rating D licenses. But there's some ARCA races I've been in lately that are, 5,000 strength of fields that are great. It's just the want to move up, the way they advance, that I rating doesn't matter and just get your safety rating. You can go out there with your finger in your ass and drive around in circles and get safety rating. It's nothing. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything.
That's how I moved up. My
I know.
thumb hurt. My thumb
I
hurt,
know.
but everything.
So if you can't show that you can produce and be efficient and pass cars and be in a pack and not cause, not so much incidents, but cause other people with better cars to finish worse, you should be stuck in the series you're at. And they're never going to change anything because they're already getting your money regardless. Like they're so busy counting money, they don't read protests. You should hear some of the crazy stuff I've said in chat the last 2 weeks. And I get that instant warning email right back to me. Right back.
I believe you. You don't have to.
I have said some crazy
I believe
shit.
you.
Yeah. And they don't care. It's like, they're just like, hey, when you got on here, you signed a thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, see you again tomorrow. I'll wait for my email tomorrow. But they don't, and like the sporting code is based on road racing, not based on oval racing at all. At all. You know how many times I've heard somebody say, I was there. No, the front of your bumper was underneath the back of my bumper. That is my spot, not your spot.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Robert.
Where to put my
This
car.
is where this is where I get.
We got in a
This is
fight
where
with
I
Robert about this a couple weeks ago.
If you're not to the middle of my door, I don't give a shit what happens to you. I will knock you off the track.
Well, that's where I get. That's where I get. You know how I drive. And well, if someone's got to run on me, and I see them coming, I'm not coming down to block him.
That's different. Yes.
Unless it's Scott Stevens, he blocks me all the time.
I see him there. He's not near my car, but he's got enough momentum. If I pull down, I'm going to get wrecked. We're going to wreck both of us.
Right.
And so I'll give him that lane, and I'll stay there, and I will not move down on him or door him or anything else. We'll just go ahead and run off the corner. If I got the outside, I get the outside, and I probably have more momentum and keep on going. But I'm not.
And you're good about that.
Yeah. Well, I learned from people passing me so often.
Well, you're good about that, but you're also, just like we were talking about earlier, like he was saying with you, you kept going just a little under the apron, getting in. Some people feel like they have to take every single run, and if there's a little gap, they have to put their car back, there, even though it's just going to hurt them on exit. It ain't helping them. They could have slowed down just as much car in front of them.
And there's 90 laps left too.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is what ruins the race. These guys that I know I'm going to pass in 3 laps when they run their tires off, to think this is cruising USA at the bowling alley. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
they should play Cruising USA at the
I
bowling alley when I was a kid.
totally agree with that. That's a very true statement. It's ridiculous.
That's all the times that you should have been hanging out with your family. They just left you at the bowling alley. Like, nobody else here has shoes here, honey. Get on the arcade.
That's why we let when people are going, they're coming up, getting into a race, and they're just flying. We'll just move over and let them go.
And they're rewarded for it.
I'll see you about 15 laps and I'll pass you. But no, we're going to get a caution.
Exactly. They pull a Howerton, and next thing you know, everybody's got new tires. Yes.
That's why we call him Mr. Excitement.
Yeah. I heard that. I was like, I don't know who picked that name. That's good.
Tracy's the one that came up with it.
I liked it before when they gave us just the right amount of tires, and then you had to save it just for a green, white checkers. And then
that was short-lived.
Yeah, someone complained about it, and then iRacing gave us some more tires.
That's why you guys should try ARCA again. Our ARCA took the tires out, so even if you have to fast repair, you do not get new tires. There are no tires, so the racing is way better. I mean, if you don't save tires, it's over for you. You can't cause a crash. You can't. It's been really good. I've liked it a lot. I had a lot of my iRating game was Indy and a couple other tracks in ARCA. I was killing it. I mean,
so Brandon, Tracy got Mr. Excitement name. It was hilarious. It was guys that were like in our discords on our 2 teams, because me and Tracy on different teams at that point, but we all kind of hung out together, that they were watching my races. And then Tracy, I'll let you tell the stories, because it's when he gave you that name, it was hilarious. Like, I was everybody's entertainment all the time.
Mike, you tell the story. It's been too long. I probably forgot half the details.
It was just times where I'd be racing. Every time I'd race, they'd be out watching me. I wouldn't even know it. And then after
more like stalking you.
Yeah, stop. And then they would bomb the Discord after the race, boom, 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 all in, and be like, why'd you do this? I mean, it was just crazy. And Tracy's
what did you say?
He's just Mr. Excitement. Well, sometimes it wasn't even me. Sometimes it was they always blame me for everything, but sometimes it was my fault. But
sometimes, it was his fault.
Occasionally,
some guy ran him clear down to the apron on the last lap and wiped him out. And then they all bombed in and said, "Oh, it was Mike's fault for doing that." And it's like, he's on the apron. What was he supposed to do?
Well, it's like the floor is lava. Once you touch the apron, you're out. Slow down and get out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, but anyway,
it's like did you guys have that in Atlanta? People were like, "You went below the line."
Yes.
Well, I didn't read that in the rules anywhere for the on iRacing.
I just started doing it so guys wouldn't do it and wreck me. I started
he just did it to be preventative. Did you hear that?
I did it. Yeah.
I pinched them down. So that when they get going in turn 1, they're not going to have a good a run off on it.
That track was crazy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did it in qualifying too because Robert told me his only way I was going to qualify good is to cut the apron on the front, and
Yeah,
I started
got
cutting it completely.
Yeah, come off a 4, go straight.
Yeah,
There's no point in adding feet to the track if you don't have to slow the car down to do it. You might as
You're
well
not
do
getting
it.
penalized for it.
Yeah.
Might as
yeah,
well, yeah.
there you go. All right, so here we go, guys. I'm bringing up my screen here. You guys can see. There we go.
So,
All
I
right,
call it the walk of shame, but Mikey calls it the wall of shame.
Wall
Have you
of
ever looked
shame.
at your incident rating?
Yeah, he made the sheet a couple times.
Yeah, I made the sheet a couple weeks
No,
ago.
just go to overall oval career.
Hey.
I guarantee you're on the page.
I
I
remember once
probably-
he was top of the list.
Yeah, I
Back,
remember more than
a
once.
year ago. He was at the top of the list.
So let's look here at championship points to start with for Division One. Cody Trelendi overall still number 1 overall, and he spread his lead out now to he was down to about 2 months ago. He was down to where he was only about 14 points in the lead. Now he spread that clear out to almost 300. He's 45.91 to Brandon Schmidt's 43.01. So
Look at Ricky. Look at Ricky and Ron hanging on there,
Ricky U, where's he at? Let's see. Oh yeah, there
Up
he
there.
is, 16th.
right underneath GP Bertolo.
And there's Ron E. Walsh. There we go. Who? Oh yeah, it's
GP.
TP.
John hadn't been racing much. He's just
No.
busy, huh?
Yeah, he's been busy. His kid's trying to make a minor league team,
Oh, that's cool.
so he's close. But you guys know John played professional baseball, right? For
Yes.
like 20 years. Yeah. So his
Right.
kid's just now out of high school, getting into college, and he's kind of with him on his,
He's down and going to Florida or to Michigan.
He's actually with him in Michigan right now, I think.
Oh.
doing
Last I
workouts for
heard,
teams.
last I heard, the kid was in Florida.
I've been trying to click stuff on the screen that you're sharing. I'm like, why isn't this working?
So anyways, let's look at this week now. Let's look at let's see.
Look
So
at Division 2. Why are you just looking at Division 1?
Oh, we'll go there. We go there.
We go there. Why are you not in Division One, Brandon? Now
I hadn't made the I rating by the start of that season. I'm in Division 1 and
okay.
Division 1 and everything else now.
Well, sometimes I'll go all. Sometimes it didn't really change much.
I don't need a participation medal. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't think you're that big of a sissy. You need a participation medal.
Well,
Looking at points. Looking at points will hurt you, man. You start paying attention to that stuff, you quit racing.
All right, let's look at incident points now with all. Well, no, let's go back to championship points.
You got to
and
go
let's
to
do this
driver
week.
stats to look at that, not just this season.
All right,
You got to
let's
look at
go-
like overall, like history of iRacing, how bad you are, not just this
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
You got to dig deep.
Yeah.
With this week, let's see. This
go
week
up,
was
go up,
New
go up,
Hampshire.
go up. There you go.
New Hampshire.
All right, so
What
this
we got?
week's New Hampshire. Boyd Hogan won strength of field race. We interviewed him on Monday, so of course he got the most championship points for the week. Dalton
Yeah.
Collins was second in the strength of field race.
I
Really-
knew Dalton. I knew Dalton a long time ago when we had
He still does
TeamSpeak.
that.
TeamSpeak. Yeah, me. Oh, just butt in.
I
Yeah.
voted for President Kennedy.
So here's incident points this week.
Well, I
So
remember
here-
where I was when he got shot.
on the grassy knoll.
No, I was in school. I was in like in second grade. Yeah, yeah.
What's that say? 60?
yeah, so here's the wall of shame. This is Division One. We'll do Division One and then all divisions.
Okay.
The Division One, see, Eric Schaefer has 60, but how many races? He has 10
Yeah,
starts.
he's not the worst. The worst is Hathaway
that's not
Jr. by
bad.
far. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
been a
not
problem
bad.
for me this week too. That guy needs to go sit on the couch.
Yeah, because that's
Oh,
what
six-
that's six
eight,
incidents a race. So-
God.
Jacob Reeves has 2 laps with 20 incidents. And him
Oh
and
my God, he does.
Hargraves.
2 starts
That's
with 20.
10 per race.
That's pretty bad.
And what's John Hathaway Jr. have? He has
There's one down there at
41
12. Derek
divided
Lemke.
by 6. He has 6.8.
Don't you work for the government? This is why my tax return's always jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually.
Oh,
Well, there
Stephen
you go.
Aguiar's is
Timothy
16.
Hartgrave. Timothy Hartgrave.
Yeah.
One race.
2
Stephen
races.
Aguiar, 16.
That's crazy.
He's a high
But-
number there.
But that's easy to do. That's easy to have one
yeah,
race
that's easy
where
to do in one race.
if I'm
Oh,
going
I
to go
know
after
it
Mike,
is.
I'll
I
get
know it's
disqualified
easy to
doing it.
do. I had 22 in one race at
Click on Hathaway.
Atlanta.
Click on Hathaway's name. Yeah. Let's look at his career. Let's see this here. Because these are the people that are bringing, all the viruses we're all catching.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I
look at his stats.
Yeah, we're gonna wait till it pops up. But your
yeah.
computer sucks. Okay.
Oh, he's up to 5,000. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, incidents. It's incidents per race right there. 2022. Down.
Oh, this says incidents per
that's
race.
overall.
The
That's
the
overall,
UI doesn't have incidents per race. Okay.
No, yeah. So you're looking at 5 per race over. That's a lot. You should not have an A license. There should be no way that you find some way to game the system where you can have an A license when you get 5 incidents per start over 1,000 times. Go
Yeah,
look at mine.
we're totally not looking me up.
No, we shouldn't. You're over 5.
Oh,
You're
don't
like
look,
5.
probably don't look at me either. You know, I don't know.
Pull mine down and look at mine. I bet it's under 2.
Yeah, but you used to be so patient and got out of everybody's way, and you just sat back and just ran circles for almost 2 years.
Well, I tried drunk.
He did, and then I ran him over, and he'd get mad.
Yeah, then I gave it up. Yeah, I traded in the white shirt then. So I'd say that's definitely a wall of shame for this week when you ran however many times that was. 6.
I'd say we got, doing the math and having at least a couple, 2, 3, 4.
But look at the
races
track. You know how that happened. That's a guy who's driving underneath everybody into the corner and drifting up and wiping out the whole field. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go in
I've seen a lot of
division.
that.
In Division 1, we're gonna go with our winners for the week in Division 1. We'll go with John Hathaway Jr. and who had
You
2
win
races
2022 so far, John Hathaway Jr.
Yeah, and then we got Jacob Rees had 2 races and 20 incidents.
I don't know her.
Several of them did.
Yeah, that's 10. That's
Chris R. Jenkins had 2 races and 22 incidents.
That's your boy, isn't it?
No, that's
Oh,
different,
okay.
Chris.
That's Jennings. That's not Jenkins.
Yeah, it's Jennings. Sorry, Jennings. Chris Jennings. Yeah, and then we had a guy. Yeah, that's
It used to
about
be
right.
Bruce, right?
Yeah. So I'd say.
Yeah.
So here are your Division 1 wall of shame winners for the week. We got.
You don't have a wall and like a graphic and like some.
It's right here. I don't know. We used to call it the walk of shame. Who knows? But John Hathaway Jr. and then Jacob Rees, Chris R. Jennings, and Joshua L. Adams.
See my air conditioner in here?
And
I
Timothy
just turned it off.
Hargraves.
I'm freezing.
There you go.
yeah, I see that.
Check this out. I just bought this house, right? And it's a big house. I got some trophies in here and whatnot. But
Well, nobody can see it on the broadcast because they're still seeing my screen.
Okay. Look
Give
at
me a
this.
second.
Check this air conditioner out. So you can see it. I bought it. It's like a personal air conditioner. I got
Oh
tube
my
into the window,
goodness.
and everything. It's like 54 degrees in here right now.
There you
I
go.
love it. Yeah.
I thought that was a computer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
All
awesome.
right.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
here's overall. Here's the fun one. This is overall of all divisions. So you get the guys in division 6, 7, 10, And
That's
so
a thing?
yeah, it's a thing. I think there's 10 divisions. So but you gotta have you get division 10, you gotta have 200 or 300 I rating.
Woo!
That takes skill.
That's another thing. If you can't keep the 1,300 they give you, go away. Get off the
Well,
service. Go
I
away.
think there should be a requirement. I think there should be a requirement of get into B or C and stuff.
Yes, there
12,
should be an I rating requirement. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be a
1,500
mixed
something. I don't
component.
know.
So here we go. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, I've been ready, waiting on you.
Incident. This is just for New Hampshire. Okay, nowhere else. A guy named Sean Fitzpatrick.
Oh my God, this guy.
He has 246 incidents.
I
in
got
New Hampshire
60
alone.
replays with this guy this week.
In
This
New
guy is
Hampshire
the-
alone.
Oh my God, this guy. He better not live anywhere near me or the jack handle shit will come to life.
He had 21 starts though, so let's look.
Yeah,
at
that's what I
his
mean. He was in every race.
246 divided by 21.
That's like
11.
7.
That's 11.7 incidents per race.
Yep.
Over 21 starts.
And that's the guy that iRacing gives the 50% off renewal shit to, not to us. They give it to
There's
that.
a guy down there with 5 races and a 58 incident.
Where's he at?
Down number 17.
Jonathan Stryker, 2.
Yeah, it's down there bottom, Mikey.
I bet
17.
Stryker 1 is suspended.
Now you got to move up.
There he is. I got him.
Yeah.
58 with how many starts? 5. Yeah, but I'm telling you, this guy at the top, he takes the cake. I don't care what the math works out to. See, 58.
Are you using a
divided by-
calculator?
How did he get
Yeah,
3
that's
wins?
10. That's 10, Mikey.
How did he get 3
9 points,
wins?
I mean.
He still doesn't beat the guy.
No, Fitzpatrick. Click on Fitzpatrick. Click on
Yeah,
his
he got,
name.
he got,
No,
he got
no,
3.
no.
Hey, I don't care how you do the math. Nobody's going to beat
No,
Fitzpatrick.
look
this
at his
week.
race results, like the click on the little thing next to race results. Look at the guys he beat. That he would do it like I said, run to the front and hang on to tires, but you weren't passing. He would weave back and forth. It was insane. Look, he's barely got a B license.
Oh my goodness.
Keep going down to the race results.
2.05. He's going to lose it.
No, they'll give it back. Keep going. Right there. He won a strength of field of 2,500.
He's winning 2,500 strength of field races.
No, he got 22nd in that one, but he won a 1255. He won a 1773. Yeah. I mean, he's a terror.
Holy cow.
1860.
Yeah,
Holy
ridiculous.
cow.
He's a missile.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. He ran 21 races.
I was going to ask you if he's taken a DNA test and you were related to him. If this guy came up,
No. I used to win. I used to run that many races some weeks.
run him is a funny word. Ruin that many races every week. It's more
So,
like it.
Let's look at his career or yearly incidents per
It's
race
over,
here.
whatever the hell it is.
It's 25 wins. You got 25 wins.
7.15 average incident per race is what it is for the ovals.
So that's career. And then for the year, though, he's been on here more than a year. Holy cow. So he's been on here, well, it's 2021. Okay. But in 2022 alone, he's 7.9 per race. It's almost 8 incidents per race.
Man,
Yeah, that should not be.
That
No, it
is
shouldn't.
crazy.
it shouldn't.
I still want to go back to this page. We have never had a more clear winner of the Wallace Chain since we've been doing it. Oh,
Oh, you probably have. probably have.
No, this takes the cake.
Really?
Oh, 21 races and 250, however many incidents.
Yeah.
That is
You should go to Be Open Season 1, 2021 and look. Just guess who's at the top of that.
Well, we know who's there. Mikey.
I wasn't in season 1. I didn't start till season 2.
No. 2021, the Be Open is always Season 1. There's
Oh,
only one season.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you.
Let's go look at it.
No, let's look at it. Come on.
Come on, Mike. Let's look
I'm
at
still.
that. Come on.
The viewers want to see it.
The viewers
Let's
want to
see
see
it.
it.
Well,
Come
Mikey,
on,
before you
start
go, get out of here. One guy when I was racing wants the A division. A
Oh yeah,
A club.
Oh, okay.
Robert's story is the podcast is getting so popular now, and everybody likes the walk of the
Well,
walk.
there's one
or wall
guy.
of
One
shame
guy
segment.
mentioned it. One guy
Yeah,
mentioned it. He
said
wanted to
do
be-
A because I'm on it. He wants
Yeah.
he wants to get shouted out.
Wants to
for,
get a
for
little
having the most
airtime.
incidents. I'm assuming it's A open, right, Robert?
Yeah, A open.
All right. Is it overall?
I don't know.
Uh,
I had a league versus league race last night. These two leagues.
There's his name, top of the list, and that's the one that talked to me.
what's
and
his
he
name?
won.
Derek Hitman. So
Yeah,
he's a hitman
yeah.
out on the track.
He's got
Yeah,
9
yeah.
wins though.
Yeah, he's the one that wanted that people. He said he's wanted his name mentioned on the.
If he's got an A license 446 and he's got 9 wins, that's a guy who's just doing what he has to do to win the race. He's probably beating and banging people, but he's not out there backwards going, I got loose and driving around,
Sorry, got loose. Not intentional.
No, he's a weapon that's at least pointed at someone. You know what I mean?
It's more of a surgical scalpel than a
Yes.
than a ball bat.
Than a shotgun blast. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's funny. But yeah, he contacted Robert, watches the podcast, and likes the Wall of Shame segment. And he wanted us to do A to mention. Anyway,
You probably caused all those incidents because he wanted to be on it this week. He probably ruined 50 people's races going, I'm going to be on TV.
Well, I told him. I said we don't do A. I said B's are mostly people. We like the B cars, and we don't do A.
Started racing anything else yet, Robert?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
race
but
anything else.
we talk so much
His
about
wheel don't
Patrick.
turn right.
We talk so much about Patrick Fitzgerald. If he sees any of us in a race, I'm sure that we're going to get the
Who
bumper.
the hell's Patrick Fitzgerald?
He's not on our league.
No, that was the guy we were just talking about. I thought
John
that's who it was.
Fitzpatrick.
Huh?
Do we got that guy in our league? Race?
Who was it?
What league are you in that I haven't been kicked out of yet? I want to be in a league.
MSRA
all right.
league.
Don't worry about it. This is my last year for them anyway.
You don't want to go there.
Probably your last year on the planet, Robert. You're 105
pretty
years old.
Well, I'm bringing up if someone gets brings out a caution, and I said, well, don't they, where's the EOL? Where's and they have to go through and get the guy an EOL.
Here's the problem. People don't know anything about racing. They think because they're on here playing a video game, they know stuff about racing. They don't understand when it's another car's fault, they go, whoop, no, was that his fault? Because he hit him and he was to his butt. They don't know how a race works.
Oh, it's not, you're right. It's not Fitzgerald, it's Fitzpatrick. It's Sean
what I just said.
Fitzpatrick. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Sean, not Paul.
Sean
Sounds
Fitzpatrick.
like a Catholic preacher.
Yeah. Anyway,
Paul Fitzgerald.
We talked about him so much and about his incidents this week. Next time he sees, he's probably gonna give us the bumper just for talking.
Well,
about
One
it.
more race, he won't be able.
Well,
to
I want
There you go.
EOL. I want EOL every time someone brings out a caution. They go in the back. I don't care.
My goodness.
Whatever.
All right,
Not
for the
hard to
view
figure
for the
out.
viewers' pleasure here. Where'd you say to go, Brandon? Season
2021.
2021. All right.
Season 1. There's 2 season 1s. You might pick the wrong one. That's 22. Are you blind?
Oh yeah. No, 21.
There's going to be 2 2021 season 1s. You got to get the right one.
All right, let's see if it's
It'll
this
be the one with click on.
There he
Oh,
is.
oh, geez.
Oh, look at
my
that.
goodness.
And it's by 400 incidents.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
Timmy Davis, the other one I told you
Oh
about.
my goodness.
400. It wasn't 400. It was
No, Timmy,
1306.
No, you're
Timmy, what-
400 over second place is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Tim.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Timmy,
goodness.
Timmy, another teammate was right there, right
Yeah,
behind
you need to stay on podcast and off the racetrack.
It's not that way this year though.
Well, no, you don't race anymore.
Yeah, but my incidence per race is below 4.
What's your instance per race here?
I
Let's
don't
see.
know. It's horrible.
I don't know. My calculator broke.
It's see, this is horrible.
All you gotta do is click on your name.
1306
Go to the season. It'll tell you.
divided by. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Where's your alt account at, Mister? I don't like alt accounts. Where's he hiding? it? He got
Oh.
suspended though. That's the only time you should have an alt account, when you get suspended.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, hey, even that
Yeah,
year,
well-
Brandon. Hold on. Even that year,
Find me. Where am I at?
My incidents per race were below 4. I was 3.96, even in this right here.
When's
If
the
you take
bad year?
If you take 1306 and divide it by 329, that's 3.96. I'm still
Yeah,
below
that's not
4 per
bad.
race. No, it's just look at my starts. I had way more starts than anybody else. I had
Click
almost
on
100 more
starts.
starts
Click on starts.
right there. I
No,
had
click on the word starts.
Oh.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
got a.
I had the
Don't you
most.
realize? Don't you realize he has a college education?
Wait, what do you have this by? Oh, you have it on Division
Nah,
1. You got to
ain't
put it
got
on all.
selected.
oh, well, I had the most starts in Division
Yeah.
One.
Now click on incidents after you hit all. Click on incidents. Come
I
on.
will.
Down. Right.
But
There
Doug
you
Bell's
go.
only one that had more starts than me that
You
year.
know, incidents. Incident. Now hit it again.
Yeah, hit it again.
Okay. You still no. So you're not first. Bredinsky. There's another character.
Oh yeah. Well, he comes in here once in a
Okay,
while.
See,
now-
Brett had more incidents and
And
way
less
less
starts.
starts.
Yeah. See,
way
now
less
click on
starts.
starts now. Click on starts now.
Okay, see, you beat me up.
Click on
Doug had the
starts.
most.
Click on starts.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doug
where,
Bell.
Doug had
Where-
the most. I had the second most. Bruno had third most.
Where am
starts
I
ever.
at?
I don't know, but you obviously weren't racing as much as us and be
I
open.
guess I took some time off.
I was 14th.
That's weird. I should definitely be on there. Did you block me or something?
No.
Hey, Douglas Bell, how many of those races do you think he was running with some kind of program running right alongside him?
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
He like Doug liked to tell everybody about all these supposed cheats, so
He
he
didn't
could
tell
say
me shit.
he would say that way he could get him thinking about the cheat and not
There you
the,
go.
and get
There
him
you
not
go.
thinking about the setup.
Get
even
down
though
to the good stuff. We're almost there. Keep going.
Oh, okay. So on to the good stuff. This
Here's
is
the
me.
Wall of Shame Hall of Fame champion right here.
No, I'm
Three-time
not.
FFC.
No, I'm not.
Oval 4.16
But that
for
was
career.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
that's
whole
because my
year.
first year was horrible.
Listen to them excuses. I don't want to hear labor pains. I just want to see the baby.
Well, it'll break it out by year right here. So let's go
Okay.
to my first year, 2020.
2020.
Incidents per race.
That's when I met you.
Yeah.
Man, it was
so-
bad.
Yeah, here it is. Every oval right here. 4.3. It's still not as bad as some people.
No, you're right.
3 per race was my first year.
Hey, I'm still not as bad as some people.
Yeah. And my now 2021 was 3.96.
That was better. Yeah.
and then
You ran less
this year-
races.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then this year is 4 even.
Yeah, but you haven't ran that much.
No,
Yeah, but look at your top fives though, and wins and laps led. I mean, you were a dart with no feathers, like you said, and it usually it worked out.
Yes. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
you
usually it
you
works
had
out.
to move out of his way.
Well,
He's gonna bump
Yes.
you.
Well, speed was never my problem. It was
Right.
I never raced before my life and never raced against people.
Oh,
even
that's
on-
really obvious. Yeah,
Yeah, and I never done any sim racing against other human beings before either. So
Yep.
like I just had zero racecraft, none.
you've come along though. Some people don't. Some people stay like that, and they don't care.
Well,
what
I'll
anyone
tell
else
you
has to say
I'll
about
tell you who got me under control was somebody on this podcast right here. Is Tracy. Tracy got a hold of me and got me under control. It took him a few months, but Trace, what was that
Of
like?
him
Here-
ignoring your messages.
Secret high intensity training. That's where we were on that.
You know,
I like that.
Yeah.
I tried. He was like, I don't care what you have to say, old
Oh,
man. I'm the new
Oh
thing.
no. Yeah, there
You-
was some
Okay.
dark days. Yeah.
Yeah, here, Tracy, tell him lesson number 1. What was lesson number 1?
Well, I told him in order to get any better, you got to make at least halfway with the car unscratched. That was the first
Right.
thing. And then I told him, I said, then we got to get 3/4 of the way with so we can find out where we're at on the track and who we're racing. And then I said, we'll race our way in from there. I said, but
Yes,
from lap 0 to 50%, don't touch
Doesn't
a
matter.
soul.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
You
And
Yeah,
that's
Says
and
in
I'd
races
start-
you have to pit. Races you have to pit.
And I'd
Why
start
are
getting
you racing before that pit stop's over? Nothing is going to happen in this
Exactly.
segment matters at all.
I would start getting aggressive at the beginning, and Trace was spotting for me. Mike, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I can get past this guy. And he goes, that's just stupid. He's
For
like, you're gonna
what?
get wrecked. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
for
you're gonna
what?
get wrecked, and it's not gonna matter.
And burn
Dude,
your
it-
tires up in the process.
Yep.
Tracy spent more time in my pit box spotting for me and calming me down in races for like 2 months than I think he did anything else.
He should get a
Well,
medal or
But
something.
the whole thing was, I told him there's two things I can't work with: a pissed off driver and a tore up race car. I
Yeah.
said, if you've got either one of those, I'm done. I'm out of the equation here. I cannot help you.
That's
So
a good.
I
good
said,
thing to
do
live
your
by.
part, you know? So
And
it worked.
it took me. Now every once in a while I still get a bit aggressive, and Robert gets on me because it's just in my nature. But no, I calmed down. I've lectured guys after races, and I just face palm anymore because I'm like, I try to explain to him, dude, why'd you do that on lap 10? I'm like, that's just stupid. I was like, we got 90 more laps to go. I was like,
You're-
couldn't you have waited a lap, lap
He's hearing the
89
voices
to wreck
now.
me?
When I
it's
seen that
like-
you put out a race etiquette podcast, it popped up on my YouTube, and I was like, this should be something.
Well,
Like,
I'll
I'm
tell you
happy.
what, Tracy's the one that taught me racecraft.
I didn't
and,
know
like,
about
and
Tracy. I
etiquette.
didn't know Tracy was the one doing all this. I thought it was you just turned loose. I'm like, who's gonna watch Mike? Make excuses for Mike. Nobody wants to watch this.
No. I always.
But
have
then I
guests to
realized
do it.
Tracy was in here now.
Yeah,
Okay, now
yeah.
it's all right.
You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
go.
And Robert,
Hey, Robert's
Yeah.
been the one that guided me.
Yeah.
He's been correcting me.
You
you guys
got
this year, you guys this year have been competitive everywhere. There's a big, I mean, I noticed it a lot, especially with you, Scott, too. Scott used to be quick first 10, 15 laps, then his car was used up.
Yeah,
And-
fell off.
You got to keep on talking.
Oh
and talk to
yeah, I
Scotty
got
and
told,
calm
man,
down,
you keep
calm down.
overdriving it. You keep overdriving it.
Yeah, we told Scotty
I
was
got told
overdriving
that
so much
so
he got
much
mad.
Mike, we
over
look like
last
twins.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, bald head. Hey,
Mike
there-
Cook, Mike Cook's the other one is on that. He just does it. He's just lost.
well, that's
his,
who I
like,
was
last
telling you.
year's
Got it
Easter
mixed
eggs.
up. Robert wasn't the one that dumped me twice at Daytona. It was Mike Cook that did
And he
it.
probably
That's
had no
what he-
idea he did it.
That's what he
No,
kept saying. Is
this
you
is-
turn yourself across my net, and he
Yeah.
talks nasally. You turn
I'm-
yourself across my nose.
I'm
I'd like
running
to-
line. VRS tells me to.
Yeah.
I would
That was
set
another
his
one.
house on
He
fire.
wrecked me one time. He goes, I just running the line VRS told me to run. Mike, if you watched the VRS video this week, and I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, shut up, dude.
Yep.
Shut up.
Or you go into an
Oh.
open practice, a big room, and there's the people talking that are constantly giving advice. You never see their name light up on the scoreboard because they're like 86th and have, 900 I rating. They're going, well, I know that what you should run in third gear and stay like, just shut up. Stop telling people the wrong stuff. You're not helping anything.
Yeah, you listen. Yeah, you listen to the guys that are giving advice, and it's, what are these guys? What? They're nobody. They
it's-
don't. If you try to get an advice, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
So it's very rare that I ever break out my I rating's higher than yours pitch, right? Very rare.
At least
But I did it a while back to this guy. It's probably
Oh,
been
wow.
a month ago. Okay. And he was arguing with me after a race about something he was doing and making a stupid decision. He made a stupid decision, wrecked us both real early in the race.
what car was it in?
It was B car, but I don't remember where we were at. It's been a couple months ago, and it was just stupid. And I kept trying to say, listen, man, I'm not trying to argue like what happened. I'm saying making that kind of a move was just stupid on lap 20 in a 90 lap race. It's just if you just do the risk calculation in your head, it just doesn't. I mean, why? Like now we're both wrecked away. And so anyway, we're arguing about it. And he just wouldn't stop. He was being belligerent and stupid. I kind of had flashbacks of myself arguing with you guys. But anyway,
Yeah.
at one point,
Did he try to talk you into making you mad and then recording what you said and turning you in? Did he try
No,
that?
he never
No.
tried that. No. And so-
now you get him out of it now.
Yeah. And so anyway, at one point, he started telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. And
Yeah, I
I
love
just said, and I broke it out. I said, you know what, man? I said, you're right. I said, somehow or another, I managed to get a 4,000 or 4,500 I rating at that point. I said, and have no clue what I'm talking about. But you, with your 1,200 or 800 or whatever it was, I was like, you got it down, man. I was like, exactly. And I hardly ever do that, but I did that to him. It was
Yeah.
like,
You right over the bones of the people you destroyed to get that I rating. You didn't care at all.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about that. Let's kind of round out the podcast. This has been a good one, man. We've been joking, having a good time. I love this.
Hey, shout
I'm gonna
out
cry
Gamer
when we get
Girl.
done.
She's lighting up the chat, man.
Yeah, Kayla's lighting it up.
Gamer girl.
Gamer
Gamer
Girl Kayla. She is lighting up the chat.
Where do I see this chat at?
That's on YouTube. You have to watch
Yeah.
the
Oh,
stream.
okay.
Anyway, hold on The ones that talk the most crap in the race usually exactly. Kayla says the ones that talk the most crap in the races are usually the worst racers on the track.
Yeah. Now, see,
Yeah.
they do what they should do. What I used to do, I don't do it as often as I should be. Is give away hot dogs if you don't bring out a
Oh,
caution.
Jesus.
You remember?
Here we go.
Well,
Here we
it's
Big
go.
Boo Betty.
Yeah, Big Boo Betty.
Big Boo Betty in the concession stand inside the garage area, but you got to go find her.
Sometimes I'm pissed and I join a race. I'm already mad, and
Yes.
Robert will start that, and it'll piss me off and irritate me at first. I'll turn my chat down, and then I'll start laughing about it, and I'm like, okay, thanks, Robert. I'm better now.
Well,
Because I just get in, and I hear him going, yeah, 2 squirts, and I'm like, shut up.
Well, that's what it started out at. It started out with popcorn, when we
Yeah.
had the COVID and all the theaters were closed. And I said, we're giving away popcorn to the top 10 drivers.
Like,
and the
who's
top
we?
5. It's a company, and anyway, it's a race. And then in the top 5, we'll get two squats of butter, the top
What?
5, 2 squats. And then we were having more cautions, I said, everybody's trying to get the popcorn with the 2 squats. And so I said, well, okay, we'll give we're going to get rid of that thing and just give hot dogs to everybody who does not bring out a caution. And it seemed to work. They wanted that hot dog.
So Brandon Kayla says if you want to find her in iRacing, she's Kayla Whitaker in iRacing.
Oh, cool.
And she races mostly road. I've been in some of the MX5s with her. She loves MX5s, does a little F3 and stuff.
I need help with that MX5 stuff. That's the only car where I feel like I'm flying, and I look at the board, I'm 3 seconds off the.
So let's work together. And I've actually gotten pretty quick at MX5. I was tearing it up last time we were at Watkins Glen.
You're running the rookie or the C advanced?
I like
one?
the D. Well, it depends. Whatever D class or C, either one. It depends on where the track's at. That if I like it. Now there's
I
some
love
weeks.
the open wheel cars, open wheel
There's-
road stuff, F3,
I love
IRO4. I love
F3.
that stuff. But the big body cars, I'm struggling.
Well, I love the MX5s.
Was
and
it
I-
like
and
a
I-
go-kart?
And there's weeks, Brandon, like where I'm just learning it. You know how like
Yeah.
like the first year I was in the open, like those tracks, I was quick, but I wasn't like really fast yet because I was just learning the first time we were there. And it's that way with the MX5. I'm pretty quick, but sometimes I'll get in there like, man, I'm 2 seconds off, and I'll work on it. And I'm with
Yeah.
I'm learning to work on the setups because nobody on the team knows how to mess with those
Tracy, you
MX5
run road
setups.
too?
Yeah, I
He
do.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I can
And
use
so-
a lot of help in that.
And so,
I really
I would be like, Trace, I'll be like, he doesn't know anything about the MX5 set. So I just start tinkering with him. I'm like, here, try this. I've been messing with it, and it's faster. And like, so we've been, I shaved several seconds off. I was running top of the board at Watkins Glen last time MX5s were there.
Now, what
but,
about fixed stuff? I mean, with road, I've tried to stay fixed because I'm only getting beat because I can't drive. It's not, something else.
I always run open. I run some
always
of the
do?
fixed F3. No, the F3s, I'll run whatever. No, in road, I'll run whatever's open. But like the D class MX5s are only open. And
Right.
the C class MX5s are only open.
Right.
And then the F3s are both, and I'll just run whatever's available when I feel like racing. Like, I
I'm
can
glad
see
they
on my
started
computer.
doing that. Like the
Yeah.
IRO4 has a fixed and an open.
Yeah, and
F3 has
some of the guys on the team like to run the Ferrari 488 Evo GT3
Yeah.
cars, and then they'll just run the VRS Sprint open or fixed whatever's open, and then they'll run or whatever's available to run at that time, or they'll run IMSA, whatever is whatever's running when they sit down on a race. So I'll do both. I'll do hold on. Kayla said that you have to learn. She loves MX5. Says you have to learn to coast into the corners with very little break with the MX5s.
That's my problem. I'll right away want to go, from 4th to 3rd, and I don't realize I'm killing the coast speed. by
Yeah, and I
doing
want to, and I
Yeah.
break pretty heavy too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're a fat ass,
Hey, I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm on keto right now. Anyway,
You're on keto right now. You better let
am.
him up. He can't
I do
breathe.
that. I do that a couple times a year. I'll lose like 20, 30 pounds and then pork out and gain it back.
That
eating
works,
pizza
man.
and
I did it
carbs and-
before it was big and lost like 50 pounds.
Oh, I
was-
love keto. I
I was
think
starving, bacon hanging out of my mouth. I'm like, I just
Yeah,
want a loaf of bread.
I thought you were like 200 some pounds is what I thought you were.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I saw some
250.
pictures you were heavy.
That
I'm
pit- that
250
picture
right
lost a
here.
lot of weight.
Are you
I'm
really?
250 pounds right here in front of you. I'm 250 pounds.
See, Kayla, you need to come hang out with us and teach us how to drive the MX5s. I mean, I've been struggling at some of these tracks trying to figure out how to get faster. But I've
Oh,
been
she
doing
runs.
pretty
She
good.
runs them in real life.
I know. Yeah, she does.
Nice.
Kayla runs
Yeah,
in real
yeah,
life. Yeah.
She just
yeah.
posted it. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah.
So
We get Kayla on the show.
You should.
She
There's
can tell her side.
there's a whole nother world to this. These people like Robert sticking on the B car and he only drives a B car. You're missing out on 99% of what there is on the service. Like, if you don't care about your road I rating, or your dirt I rating, why aren't you racing?
Oh,
Like
I have a
it's-
second account for that. I got to preserve that road license.
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
at
preserve
800. I got to
that.
preserve that 800 I rating.
I'm about to hit 2,000 in road.
I
real
just
quick.
can't get it
well,
into
I
it
did-
turning right. What?
I got
Then
up
you
to
got to
20
memorize the track.
No, you don't.
Brandon, I got to 2,200 in road. There was somewhere where I hated an oval here a while back, and I just said I'm not doing it. I raced one race, and that was it, just to get some championship points.
Yeah.
And it was when the MX5s were Watkins Glen. I love the Glen. I love the
easy
MX5.
We had a
track,
good
yeah.
week there.
And I did a series on the YouTube channel live streams called Race to 2K, and I started that week at like 900 at I rating, and I finished at 2,200. Now I'm
Nice.
back down to like 1,700 because
A lot of editing involved with that, I bet.
no, I actually was great, but I tell you, I lost like 500 or 600 I rating last week, like 500 because I was at Oulton. It was either last week or a week and a half ago. The MX5s were at Oulton Park.
That track is one of them where I feel like I'm flying and I'm not.
I got wrecked every single race. Like
Right.
there was, I kept going back like the slot machine. I just kept feeding it and coming up a loser. And I got raced and I got wrecked in every single one. And my I rating just plummeted on road. I'd like to get it back above 2K. Anyway,
Have you tried the Formula Vs?
I hate those things.
I
Those things
love
are
them, man. They're so fun.
they're all over the place. They're like
They are.
the loosest crap.
But you
I've ever
can't
seen
run
in
them
my
without
entire
having
life.
some kind of input. If you're not in the gas a little bit or in the brake a little bit, it's like they just take off in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have something going on.
Yeah. Anyway, so Kayla, hit us up. We need some MX5 races.
Get
Seriously,
Mike's DMs.
Yeah, I'll send you a message in iRacing, whatever, the invite to the server. Come help us out. We need the help. Me and Brandon Tracy need to get it fast in MX5s. Anyway, so let's transition to the last part of the last segment of the podcast. Brandon, reason we've been highlighting you so much in our broadcasts on Monday night is because I was shocked that we were like Kansas or somewhere here a few months ago, and you passed me. I was like, I think you were listening to my stream. It was hilarious. I was like,
oh yeah,
I was like, Brandon just passed me. I said, I'm normally faster than him. He's
You
just
said, what are
slower
those
than me."
guys
It's like,
doing passing me?
Yeah,
And,
or something
Ron
like
told me.
that. Yeah,
Ron told me, and I said, because I'm better than you, Mike. And I said it over the game.
Yeah, I think that was exactly the phrase. What's Brandon doing passing me? I'm usually faster than him or something. And you made a comment. I died laughing because you were commenting on what was just in my stream, and I thought it was hilarious. But then I looked down and I'm like, well, holy crap! I was like, his I rating is like up 1,000 points from the last time I saw it, and that was back when it was like 3,500. And now
I think it was 39 or something.
Yeah,
like
I got a 42 on the total.
Well, in Kansas, it was like 35-ish.
Yeah.
Now you're up above 4,000. So
I'm right at there now. 39.
Yeah, in about 6 months' time, you've went from 2,500 to 4,500.
I dropped. Actually, I went from 1,900 to 4,200 in 5 weeks.
In 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's where we want to focus this last segment, because here's the thing. So we get into all these races.
What's your secret?
Well, we get into all these.
I bought it off of Douglas Bell. I'll give you the file.
There you go. Script kitty.
Meow.
But that's the thing. Guys always want to know. Like, one of my biggest shorts from the podcast I ever had was Tommy Gossett talking about his jump from like 4,000 to 5,500 or 6,000, whatever he was at. People are all like, how do they do it? Where they getting their secret setup? All this stuff. And they're dying to know, but everything we just talked about in this podcast, everything before now, is why they don't get higher I rating.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff we've talked about. And it's like, I just face palm. But you've done it. So I want you to share your story about how you did it. Was any equipment involved? Like, did you learn anything on setups that helped you? Not that I want you to give away your secret setup. Yeah, there's no secret sauce setups.
Well, there is some stuff that obviously helps.
Right.
One, I did go from, when we all heard that the guys were doing good, weren't running a lot of force feedback. That's just what we've always heard. They're running, zero, very little. And I cranked it up when I had the 2.5, and it's harder to be smooth, but it helps. And then I bought this SimiCube, and it's like a different level. Direct drive is so different just because of everything you lose on the low side that you now get. It's so much more detail. That I found the more, force feedback I run with, the better I was, the more I could feel the car, obviously. But I took that class with Keegan, and I did pull a couple things out of that. One was like, I would watch this guy's lap, and he would show his inputs, and he picks a spot to start turning in the corner. His wheel goes to that point and it never moves. I mean, I don't mean it goes like this. It never moves. And it just shows the computer aspect of it where this is what it wants. It wants you to go to this percent, don't make the wheels slip at all, hold it there, never move, never, you know what I mean? And his tire wear was amazing. So I really focused on that. And open, there's some tracks where I have, and my setup's totally different than anything you're going to buy, anything like that. They don't look the same. They're not going to do the same. They're not going to run well, short run. It's not what I make setups for. The ones where I could finish well and make iRating, I didn't open. And the races where I didn't feel like I had an advantage, I ran fixed. And I ran B fixed, A fixed, C fixed, everything. Because if you don't get a good split, if the race doesn't split, B open has 20 cars in it. I'm not racing that shit. The strength of field is going to be what, 1100, and you're going to have 3 guys that are playing on a controller. You know, if it's not splitting, I'm not racing. So if B fixed has 105 cars in it, odds are I'm going to be a high number. So I have an opportunity to gain. If I go into a race and I'm the 3 car, I'm either going to
if you don't get a top 5, you're going to lose iRating. Exactly. I have that happen to me all the time.
In some strength of fields, you could get a top 5 and still not get any iRating if you don't win.
I've won a race and got like 10 or 15 iRating before.
Yes, that's possible. And you got to look at a lot of guys are like, I got 100 wins. I'm like, most of them are against, they might as well have been bots. Would you get 5 points for doing that?
Exactly.
So I like being in those big, strength of field-ish races in a fixed race where they're 5,000 strength of fields and I'm the 29 car. Because if I finish 20th, I'm going to get 100 points. It's going to be a big deal. So I really focused on fixed, on setting, myself, trying to find the best offsets and stuff I could, which people tell you doesn't mean anything, and trying to find the best brake bias, which people still tell you doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to lecture anybody, but it does. Promise.
It does. In fact,
I always thought it was a preference. I always thought it was a preference.
No, I changed the brake bias in New Hampshire on the set and did a lot better this
year. All that has something to do with it. All of it. Because even if the sim is as realistic as they say, even when you're not pressing the brakes, when you're going slower and you never notice a race car get pushed by and the brakes are squeaking, that pressure of that percentage is on the drive plate of the wheel and is doing something. So when I let into a corner with my brake bias all turned up to 900, it slows me down faster than if I had it on 50%. So tell them to shut up. But anyway, I did that, ran a lot of fixed races, found races I was doing good at, and just kept racing. I would try to make sure if it was a race where I became, I was a higher number, I came in, I was the 4 car or something, because damn it, I didn't make, the next split. I was just as careful as possible. And the races where I was the 28 car, I was as aggressive as Mike Howardson and just got his head waxed. Like if there was something to gain, I pushed as hard as I could. And if there was a lot to lose, I took it really easy. And a lot of people don't realize that every one of these races is different. You run the B open at 10, you might end up with a whole lot to gain, and the B open at 2 a.m. with a whole lot to lose. So you cannot run every race the same. You just can't. You have to be mindful of, I have to make sure I don't do something stupid to cost myself 120 points right here. That's the biggest key. People think, I don't care if I'm in 3rd and I'm going to get 60. I'm not going to risk my car and go, I want to win and lose 100 because I got wiped out. Like,
right. And I've expressed that to Mike too. If you don't have a first place car,
you're not going to win.
Send it. Yeah. Don't send it in there and get trashed and finish 24th when you had 3rd.
Yep. If this
totally
game
agree
didn't
with
have,
that. Yep.
If this game didn't have green, white checkers,
I got wiped out for 5th in Martinsville.
You've been wiped out since 1975.
Yeah, that too. Oh, that's when I started.
So if this game did not have green, white checkers, okay, if they didn't exist, some of these people who talk like they're the authority in the B class, blah, 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 would have 1/8 of the wins they have and 1/8 of the iRating. They wreck everybody on their way to that last yellow on new tires, and they're all ready to go. They're a cancer to this whole service. It's ridiculous. They don't know how to race. They know how to drive like idiots through people until the laps are all over. So, we just have to know that that's what it is and be aware of it. Don't be in front of, because you ran a good race and you saved your tires, in front of the guys who are now behind you with no hood, with new tires, because it's not going to end well for you.
Then that's why people used to get so mad at me, is because usually the guy that causes the wreck is not the guy that gets
the
damage.
Drunk guy never dies. It's the family in the minivan. That's how it works.
Yeah, and so I would do what you were saying, and I would wreck someone, and I'd be right out in the race, and I'd be in that green white checker at the end, finishing first, second, third, whatever, and I just cleaned the guy out that was running the best before that or whatever,
and you slept
and that's
fine.
what made because if I would have got the most damage, they probably wouldn't have been as mad. But the fact that the guy that murders somebody else on the track in iRacing is usually the guy that gets the least amount of damage in it, and then they're still off to the races. I get so mad when somebody does that to me, and I look up and I see that they finished like they're the 20 car and they finish 8th. I'm pissed and I'm sitting in the pits, with a junked up car because of what they did. And
it's
I know
almost
that's
always
why people got so
the
mad
other
at me
person
before.
or the defensive car.
I
The
always
guy who
found
gets
out
drove off the line and has to let out and stuff is the one that ends up in the wall. The one that used him to turn is fine. I mean, it's just
the guy
how
who
it goes.
caused the incidents, where you're right, the guy who caused the incidents gets the less amount of damage.
Yep. And they'll say, well, I only got a 0X. Well,
Can-
do you know what a 0X is? It's when you contact another car and you are now connected to that car. So if they hit the wall and get a 4X, your 0X turns into a 4X.
It does. Yeah.
So if you only got a 0X, it's because I can drive and you only got a 0X. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, and here's something I started doing at New Hampshire is I started to drive. I was telling Robert in a race, if anybody listened to my live stream, they heard me talk about it. I talked about it a lot. I said, protect yourself here. I was like, if you're any good, it's like, don't pass on the outside. Always pass on the inside because the outside's a little faster. Hear me out. The outside's a little faster coming off, like you get more speed, but somebody's going to slide up and hit you. I said, if you're really faster driver, then you have no problem passing on the inside. If you're faster than that person, you're a good driver. As if you go on the inside, you're in control and nobody can slide up into you. And I was saying that a lot in my live streams, and that's what I did. And all these low strength of field, I raced like 3 races this week, and they all.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how good
they were single. They were single. They were single split
neither.
races.
Everybody kept wrecking me.
Well, they were single split races, and I was just like, in these single split races, you're passing these guys with half the I rating you have. Always do it on the bottom and protect yourself, even though the top's
Plus
faster.
8 wheels corner better than 4 anyways.
You
Exactly.
should watch some of those races that Sean Fitzpatrick was in this week.
Oh my goodness.
And you see why that doesn't always work. This guy. Oh man.
Hey,
he needs to be our guest next week. He can tell his side of the story. I don't know what
locked up.
Shout out. I gotta give a shout out to Ivan Fournose.
Oh
He
my
actually
God.
sent me an email of an apology because at New Hampshire I was coming out of the turn and he was in the track and I went high to avoid him and he took off up the track and right in front of me and took me out.
He's pretty
But
cool,
he sent me an email and I responded to it and I accepted his apology. I know he didn't mean to do that. It was very frustrating for me.
I actually
but,
think I have a message from him too. Let me see if I can.
I think I lost almost 200 I rating in 3 races.
What are you going to do with the other 300 you have, Scott?
I'm
He's going to start an alt account. What else?
He's going to protect that 300.
Hey, I finally was up at 3,600.
Yeah, I seen that.
Atlanta Super Speedway and New Hampshire took me down. I had a couple good races at the Super Speedway, and I think one.
We were doing good. We were doing good. At
Robert was watching me at New Hampshire, and I avoided an accident on the last lap. I drove from like 16th position to 11th and finished the race at 11th.
There you go.
Those people
you
was
did that from
crashing.
16th position. There's no reason to be up there beating and banging for first and third. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
Oh, that race, I was all the way back to like 23rd and 2 laps down, I think, at one point, wasn't I, Robert? Something like that. And mad. I was so mad. And Robert kept calming me down. Just calm down, Scotty. Just calm down. Just don't go too hard there, and he's great at keeping you calm.
All he's got to do is put some just generic, like Trace Adkins music behind you talking and record it and cut that thing. You'd be rich, man.
There you go.
You sound like you're singing every time you talk.
Well, I sing gospel music all the time, and
Yeah.
I can sing country songs too.
I get up there and sing with Mike in his cult in Virginia.
Well, I'm going to change subject. I got
Dang,
mad at
where?
one.
Well, Brandon, the dropouts on YouTube just said, tell Brandon his teammates are watching, so be on your best behavior.
That's Ron. You guys know Ron is a guitar player, was in a rock band for like 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, he looks
Have you
like
seen-
it.
Oh,
Too.
Have you
cool.
seen that picture of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
gotta-
have, bro. I actually hung out with Ron a little bit when he was over there with Steve Aguiar at Pay to Win for a while and got to know him a little bit. We talked about him doing playing the guitar and all that
Where
stuff.
did you
He's
just
a pretty
say
cool
Ron
guy.
was?
He was hanging out with Steve Aguiar when Steve was at Pay to Win.
That's news to me.
Oh, he doesn't do that anymore.
No, it was pretty short lived.
I'm just kidding. I know.
But we were hanging out with Steven Aguiar
With
was
GP?
hanging out in our
Yeah.
chat some. He was hanging out our Discord and helping us.
GP, I ain't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, that's because he lost the password to log in.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
Say it, Robert.
I didn't want to tell anybody. I knew who he was. I didn't want to tell anybody who he was.
It's amazing how he drives on that account and he's dog shit in his real name. And that's funny.
Well, they're about the same. They're both above 4,000 and something. Yeah. I was going to go back to that one time when you guys were talking about whatever the wrecks and stuff. I got mad at somebody in a race and said, "You owe me a new car," and I was mad. You owe me a car. You wrecked my car. He gave me $10 iRating.
Yeah, on iRacing.
Yeah,
I think that's something they should do, man. You cause damage, it should be like a fine or something. You got to pay before you get back on the track.
Well, the guy sent me $10. We'll put it in my account. He gave me iRating credit, $10. I couldn't believe it. I was just joking, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Brandon, let's get back on track. So you were talking about
how we
got what we got sidetracked on was you were telling your story, and then you got the point where saying, take what you can, take where you're at and don't try to push it and cause wrecks, trying to get something more than what your car.
You got to maximize advantages.
That's where we were at. So keep.
Well, wait a minute. Do you use a lot of force feedback on ovals?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you're getting ready to talk about. I do too. I turn mine up to 12 Newton meters on my.
So this will do 25, and I'm running at 25.
Really? Yeah. I can't do that. It rips my arms off.
I can't.
That's what he said too.
Yeah, I mean, in Iraq, you see there, I got hit. This is all tendon damage and all this. I mean, I'll be carrying a gallon of milk and drop it. So, I mean, it affected me a lot.
How you doing 25? And everybody's told me that too about the whole don't run, run minimal force feedback. And I'm like, no, I can catch slides.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And so,
exactly.
my wheel will do 20.
Now that new car is nuts, man. The next gen car,
yeah.
I mean, you got to have it cranked up. You still hardly get any force feedback.
Yeah, well, my wheel base will do 20, and I set it at 12.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's good.
Yeah,
I got mine set at 6.5, and I figure that's enough for me.
No, you have a 2.52, Robert, right?
Yeah,
he has 2.5. It'll do 8.
Are you talking about the strength number, or are you talking about the force number?
Well, the force I got, the force Newton whatever I got that's at 8.
8, yeah, that's full. That's 100%. Yeah.
And then when I drive, I have it set at 6.
That's different. That's the force. That's really weak though, Robert.
Well, I know, but if I do it any harder, it just kind of wears my arm out.
He's 100, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Well, the Newton meters is 100, but he's turning the force part down lower.
Oh, his age.
I know. We did. Me and Tracy did a video on this, or I did, about how to properly set up your force feedback. And
it was way wrong.
Well, anyway, you need to go watch the video, Robert.
Did you guys ever use IRFFB?
I have and hate it.
I like it.
It caused me all kind of problems.
Yeah, it did.
With my G29, it worked really nice. I like.
What are you using now, Scott?
Same thing, G29.
I got a 2.5 in the closet, a G29, 2 other rigs, 3 more TV. I got all kind of stuff to sell.
You're like me. I've got my main one, and then I've got a G29 sitting there on a stand, or 920, and then I've got my old Thrustmaster TMX sitting there.
I keep it all. I don't know why.
I hope to have a direct drive will come next year.
What are you looking at? You cannot beat a SimuCube.
He's like the CSL.
I don't know what I'm looking for yet.
Brandon, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you got into that SimuCube? Because I'm on Sim Experience.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get them on the show. I haven't reached out to them yet, but anyways, they're only like 20 minutes.
We're trying to get Junior here too.
They're only like 20 minutes away from me. So, what
do they make?
Package, what's that?
What wheel do they make?
It's Sim Experience.
Is it the Magic?
No. What's it called? I just said Sim Experience on it. I don't know what the hell it is.
AccuForce. It's
AccuForce. Yeah.
That's it.
See, Aaron just sold his, and he got a SimuCube. He had an AccuForce too.
Okay,
but they're good wheels.
Yeah, but the package is what I was curious about, because like Fanatic, they nickel dime you and they a la carte you to death. Yeah. But this was a package deal. I think they were running a special at the time. It used to be like $1,200 at the time. Now we're talking a couple years pre-COVID, and I got it for $1,000. The wheel and everything that went with it. So I thought that was a nice package. But
I bought this
SimuCube.
So the Pro 2 is like what? It's like $1,800, I think. And when you get it, you would get just one quick release with it, which, I mean, it's something you mount on the wheel, and it's got different ways for it.
Okay.
So the face of this just has a female, or a male version of here, and the female slides in here, so you can put this on any wheel.
Okay.
Okay.
I bought this used from a kid in California who had this. The Fantasy.
Was he a blind kid in California?
No, he's just spoiled. He didn't know he had.
Spoiled kid.
He sold me that Asher Racing wireless button box, which was like, I think they're like $750.
Is that connected in like a Lovejoy, or is that this?
And I had that Fanatec wheel I bought off John, the D bottom one. See, so this has an extension, so this is even longer off the back of the wheel, but it still ends the same way and slides right on there.
I'll tell-
And then I have this, which you think would only work with Fanatec, that Formula One wheel.
There you go.
I hear.
Yeah, see,
I
same
got it
thing.
too.
GT3.
Same thing. So
Yeah.
SRM makes a conversion kit that puts a cord out of it and stuff. I just plug this in USB, same exact connection, and all my lights and buttons, everything come right back on and work fine. Because usually Fanatec
I gotta
stuff.
tell you, actually, I love this. The same. I got the same
dude.
F1 wheel you got. I love
I
it.
love it.
Because I got the big leather wrapped.
I'm Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. I got the big leather wrapped 33 centimeter one or 34, whatever. It's just a little less diameter than your NASCAR one. I just didn't want a deep dish one because I had the Xbox button hub, universal hub, and it's hard to reach the buttons.
Got a whole bunch of them. If anybody needs it.
So it's hard to reach the buttons. So I got the little bit smaller, but I wanted leather. I didn't want Alcantara because that way I could use my bare hands and not to wear gloves and it wouldn't tear up the covering. And so I use that on all the oval stuff. But I was trying to do some open wheel stuff, and using that rim was ridiculous on open wheel stuff.
You can't do it. There's no way.
I got this one on Facebook Marketplace for like $250, and
that's a good deal.
I love all my open wheel stuff. I race with this thing. I think it's great. And I
gave this kid
handles.
I gave this kid I think $1,500 for the wheelbase, the Astro. I mean, I made out great. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. Just the low. Sometimes, I mean, I had to let go of it last night in that league race when I got spun across the finish line as usual. Like I finished fifth, got wiped out. I had to let go. I mean, I hit the wall so hard, was just barely hanging on to it that it snapped it out of my hand. I mean,
I'll bet.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have. I'll tell you how I got that deal on the F1. I used to have the McLaren CSL McLaren one. It was actually a really nice wheel, but I had that plastic quick connector on it, and so I bought.
That's the problem with that Fanatec DD, whatever crap they're doing now, the little baby
CSL
one.
DD, yeah.
All that stuff's plastic. It's all dog shit. All of it.
Well, anyway, I got my DD1, and it would only do low torque mode with that plastic thing on it. I hated that because I felt like I wasn't getting as much strength in low torque mode as I got with my my CSW or 2.5,
which that is better than the CSL. You know that, right? Like the CSW 2.5, CSL stands for Club Sport Light. It is a light version. It means it's plastic.
Yeah. So anyway, So when I got my DD1, I paid $100 to Fanatic brand new and had them ship me the metal quick release that I could put on that McLaren wheel, and I used that for a while, so I had it. And then when I saw this F1 one on there, this guy had it, and he sold it. He was selling it $250 for the wheel with no quick release. Or he would sell the quick release separate for $100. And I said, I'll take the wheel, no quick release. And I took that plastic one, threw it back on the McLaren and sold it on Facebook local and got full price out of it.
Look at him just ripping off the community. I love it.
And then I took that metal quick release I bought for it and put it on that F1 and got that F1 wheel $100 off. Because
those wheels are awesome.
Fanatic won't sell it without the quick release, but this guy sold it without it. And I was like, cool. So that's how I got that and loved it.
Yeah, you're talking about the metal slide one that they send where you have to put it on yourself. Comes in a little box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deal right there.
So when I bought this one, I had to take that off, and then SRM makes the one that goes on there.
Right. Yeah. So all right. So anyway, we're talking about maximizing your spot and not trying to get ahead. So
what are you using for pedals?
The V3s.
That's what I got too.
Love them. I'll never get anything different. I absolutely love them.
Did you do anything to them, or are they stock? Did you change?
No, I have the V3 inverteds. I changed the spring on both. I put a dampener on the throttle, which was slowing me down for about a year until I realized I had it too high. So I wasn't getting all the way in the gas quick enough. That killed me for about a year, honestly. And then I actually went with another spring on the brake that I bought at a hardware store and made myself and all kinds of stuff. But I'll probably go the hydraulic. So you stiffened
up the brake as well? You put a stiffer spring on that?
I have to almost run from the other room like Howerton giving the people's elbow and running and jumping on this brake to stop. I mean, I've really got to slam it to stop all the way.
See, here's the thing with my V3.
I think people over brake like bad a lot.
I think so too.
Doug bought the inverted ones, and I don't know who
I
else
have.
has those. But and
Yeah, I got 'em.
this guy named Chuck. And Robert's got the inverteds. I've got just the base V3s, the cheapest package, because I couldn't bring myself.
You like to
doing
look
it.
humble. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know I'm so cheap. I couldn't like it's the same thing. It's just how it's mounted. I was like, I can't justify it. Like I'm just so cheap. I couldn't do it. I bought the base V3s, and that's what I've got and what I've always had. No dampers. No, not just.
Oh man, you like the dampener. Get a dampener. I think if you don't have one at all, the V3 inverters come with the brake pedal one. You can buy the brake pedal one for what is it, like $70, I think, or $50.
Yeah, well, but the base model doesn't come with any dampers on it.
No, so get one.
Okay, I don't have
it's
one.
Worth it. That's a big upgrade. It really is. 'Cause you can adjust that brake between 0 through 10, and then the screw length, and I mean all kinds of stuff.
Huh? I might look into it. So let's get back to your story, because that's what everybody wants to hear. So
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
yeah. So
yeah, they
maximizing
do.
your yeah they do actually, especially
They do.
You're
You're pretty thorough.
So you're talking about maximizing your position, not trying to swing for the fences and wreck people trying to get positions your car's doesn't have. So that's where we left off.
Yeah. So how do I maximize my position in a B fixed race at, let's say, Kansas, when I'm the 28 car of 29? So that doesn't mean running as hard as I can because I'm playing with house money. It means the last 3 races, a lot of people have crashed because there's a lot of personalities and people think they're entitled to space. Yes, egos. So I'll put myself in position to be right there to pick up the pieces. You look at my big I rating jump. I've only won 3 races this year, and 2 of them were ARCA. And then I won a couple road races too. But sometimes my biggest point finishes over 200 points were not even, barely in the top 10. You have to know when you're in a situation like I have a real chance to make a lot here. And not
I felt
risk
like I felt like I was a vulture. I'm waiting for these. I'm just riding along, waiting for these cars to get wrecked themselves up. And
I do that in road a lot.
And Robert did that.
I'll ride along waiting for people to wreck.
Robert vultured around for 10 years, and now he's at 3,000. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. It took 10 years to get this far.
Yeah, but Robert did it the right way too. He didn't do it running over people.
Yeah, unlike me, who ran over people, hit 3,000 in my first 3 or 4 months.
You got a guilty conscience or something. I don't know what's wrong with you, Mike. If I go to results and I look at my results right now on the UI, which isn't as good as the page, but I mean, I have in the last, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 races, I have 9 incidents, and I finished outside the top 10 twice.
Yeah, on the B, you and I have almost identical records.
Yeah, we're close in Division 2. Yep. It's just, that's all it's about. It's like, don't lose more than you should lose, and make sure you gain as much as at your limit. Some people drive so far over their head. They're like, wow, I'm really fast here. But you're not really. You're fast for a minute. You're fast for 5 laps.
Well, the biggest thing that I like out of your story is you've adapted, because most people that run open, they say, well, I can only run open because I can't drive the fixed setup. But you have a total different approach to that.
Yes.
And that's interesting with what you say there, because that's
because I don't deserve to be at that I rating if I didn't get it by just beating other people in the same equipment. If I have some what do they call them, exploit or something, or some trick setup, I don't deserve that I rating. I stole it.
You farmed it.
Yes. So I make sure I got it legitly, and then I can continue to race all these different series, and my I rating won't drop 1,000 points in a week. Like, my I rating is always going to be where I'm at, because I won't like, well, I hit 5,000, so I'm going to run 1 B open race every 9 months, and I'll see you guys later. Like, a lot of people do that.
Yes, they do. And they sit and farm that I rating, and they come back and go, man, I can't believe I'm this far off.
Yeah, and they were that far off the whole time. They just didn't know it.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm a 28 car, I like to finish at least 15. If I'm going to try to.
You got to finish
15.
top half. If you're a number lower than like 6th, you finish top half, you get I rating. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's all. And I have one of those on my sim racing apps thing that shows me where I'm at I rating wise during the race. If you're looking for I rating, it's not the best thing to do. Turn that shit off, because you start looking at. Now I'm in 5th. I get
fixated. Yeah. I get fixated on that. Sometimes I got up on mine too.
Race all day for 2 hours or an hour and a half or whatever and gain 1 point.
And don't be afraid to race. Like, when you get over 3,000 or at 2,500, don't turn your back on that stuff that you see as that's for rookie class and that's for. Well, no, it's not. I mean, there's splits in those too. And there's 300 cars in the Legends race. The top split is not going to be low. It's going to be high. You know.
Yeah, like D class MX5s. If you get in top split, man, those guys are fast.
Oh yeah, there's guys with 7,000s in there and stuff that I see twice in the same lap. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that takes some skill, man.
It does. Yeah.
See him twice in the same lap.
I had to get out of my own. I didn't want to worry about it. I watched a lot of guys worry about it. Like Tim. Tim would race. Tim was on every day with me and Robert, and he would race every day. The guy raced 1,000 times a season. He's raced what 6 times since the start of 2022, and his average finish is like 105th. I mean, he's just trying to hang on to something that he is not at the skill level to have.
4,000. He's got that 4,000, and he don't want to lose it.
And it doesn't mean anything. They don't send you a T-shirt.
But I don't care anymore. Like, I care a little bit.
I get to be in the upper split. I said, if you were any good, you'd be there anyway. No matter what.
Anyway, and you'd be the 26 car instead of the 2. I mean,
but like, I care a little bit because I mean, everybody cares about something. I don't want to lose. You know, like I get in a race, I'm like, oh, I just got wrecked out. I'm losing iRating. I'm going to lose 100. It'll take me 5 races to gain it back.
I'm not going to race 50 Martinsville. No.
But like, I mean, so I care about it at that level, but I don't get mad anymore. I remember the first time I got over 4,000. I got so upset whenever I went below, and then I think think the highest
I got
I've ever
upset
been,
the first time you went over 4,000.
When I went over, yeah, you got upset when I went over, and I got upset when I went back below. But anyway, and I think the highest I've ever been was around 4,800 ish, right around there. And I got upset when I dropped. And then you know what I did? I plummeted in 2 weeks. I plummeted back down below 4,000. I went from like
because you're racing to protect iRating and not to race. Yes.
And by doing that, I had the opposite effect, and I just plummeted back down.
Well, that's what Tommy Gossett was talking about. Remember?
Yeah. And ever since then, I just stopped caring that much. It's not as important to me. I don't care if I'm 5,000 or 3,000. I'm still the same racer. You know, so I had a bad streak and raced Daytona 15 times and got wrecked half of them. Who cares? I'm still the same racer. I'm still just as fast. And I'll get in there and I'll just gain it back at some point.
And when you go to Daytona, you won't be Mike A. Howerton. You'll just be Mike Howerton. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we didn't
that shit.
Yeah, we didn't talk about these alt count, did we?
Yeah. No, we didn't.
It shouldn't be a thing because you're not given, even though they have high I ratings with those alt accounts, you're not given. You know, they might be a 3,000 or something where usually they're a 7. Well, you just took the strength of field down from realistically what it should be. If this guy beats you, he should get the same benefit of beating you at 7, not beating you at 27, because this is you account. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're getting beat by this guy with the 1,500 I rating, and really his alt counts to 7,000.
Yeah,
and it's hurting you because of this. And you know, nothing's going to be done because iRacing getting their money.
Yeah, it makes me the maddest. It doesn't make me as mad. I mean, it makes me mad all the time for the exact reason Brandy just said. But it's not as bad in like a 2,500, 3,000 strength of field. But what it really makes me mad is whenever they enter like a 1,500 strength of field race, and I'm racing it because it's my lunch break at noon or whatever, and I don't have a choice. If I want to race today during the day, it's only going to be my lunch break. So I enter this race because I don't have, if I want to race, I don't have a choice. And it's like 1,800 strength of field. And I'm like the 3 car, whatever. And I've got to finish.
And the 11 car is.
Yeah. And the 11 car. The 11 car.
LaJoy.
Yeah. or Boyd Hogan or Kyle.
Yeah.
The 11 car is somebody who's got a 7,000 or 8,000 I rating. And they beat me. And then I finish 4th and barely break even or lose 5 I rating, you know.
Say, was your lunch break?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not David Lamb then. He's done racing by 7 a.m. So
no, we always race the we call it the cholesterol level.
The Geritol. The Geritol races in the morning.
Yeah.
But so those are the times that really bothers me when those guys race on their alt accounts, because it's like, come on, dude, you just literally stole I rating from me because you're racing under this 2,500 I rating account and just beat the crap out of me and everybody else. Just because you're going to, because you're that fat, because you got an 8,000.
Because you know something I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. Like Ricky Uddings, his is even more impressive than mine. I mean, John seen him in a race probably a year and a half ago and was like, I went to school with that guy. So we messaged him and he got on our team, and he was less than me. He was like 2,200 at the time. And he's right below Ron. I think he's at 4,800 now. And
he's up there.
He just meekly runs 1 or 2 races a week, and they're at 8 a.m. and stuff, but he wins them all and he gains, and he doesn't race anything else, but he sees an engineer. So he thinks there's like this weird mathematical answer for everything, and there's not. But
a lot of it is your hands and your feet,
And as his I ratings went up, he's raced less. And I'm trying to show him because I don't want him to do the same thing Tim did, but he can't help it. And I can't really complain because he's still gaining. and he's
Right.
still on here racing. But
Well, he's on like you on Monday night Strength of Field. I see him once in a while in there with you racing.
he runs it every Monday, regardless. He knows it's going to go bad, and he tries to be careful. That's another issue. If you're worried about, oh, I'm the 28 car in here, I'm just going to be in the back and hope I can pit in this personal wreck, but just race how you race, because you're taking your skills away by thinking, well, they're all way better than me, so I just need to stay. You're in that race for a reason.
Scotty's our biggest success story. Scotty, when we first picked you up, you had around 1,000, give or take 100.
500.
No, he was like
I wasn't that.
he was
low.
like
I was
1,100,
8, 9 somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe
He
11,
owed
yeah.
iRacing. He was in the negative.
Yeah,
You were
he was in
below
the negative.
1350.
Oh
No, he was in the
yeah, I had a
negative.
bad streak. I
You
was
should
on
have to have the
I,
stamp.
He
Yeah,
was
I
at he was at
should've.
he was at 1,000, give or take a little bit, and
Yeah.
we've all worked. Every single person on the team has worked with Scott.
What it amounted to was they were doing pace setups, and I wasn't aware of pace setups yet. So I was trying to do my own setups, and
I've never used a pace setup.
Well, and that
And,
got you, but that got you to like 2,000s, 2,500. But a lot of it was working with you on overdriving.
It's your head. It's overdriving.
Not light switching in the corners. Like it was all kind of stuff. And every person on the team has worked with Scotty at one point in time. And now,
How many of you are there?
Well, there's been people in and out. Like there's like right
Like
now.
right now.
1,
About
2,
10,
3,
7.
4,
At least
5,
that, at
6,
least seven,
7,
at least
8,
seven.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
Well,
get
but some of the guys aren't.
Well,
on very
we
often.
we got 3 more people, us here, then we got probably 3 more.
So you're
people.
doing like with what Ron and Jesus wanted to do a while ago. You're actually helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
oh
there's-
yeah,
and-
they brought me along really well.
I don't have any time for other
I learned
people.
a
I care
lot.
about me.
yeah, there's 4 of us that race. They're on here. There's 4 of us that are on here a lot, and that's who's on this
Yeah.
podcast now. And then we got Scott Austin, who comes on pretty regularly.
We tried to get a court injunction against you doing this because I'm like, if he's training other people to drive like him, this shit's over. It's dead. It's not.
I do more watching. And spotting than I do racing.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, but so
The
Scott
races
Austin,
are cleaner like that too.
They are. No pop.
Scott Austin, Bobby Harmon, Rick Disler, Corey
Disler's
Wolf's
good,
on here
man.
with us. Yeah, Corey Wolf's with us.
What the hell's a woof?
And then Gerbil, David Gervais back with us. The
Woof.
Gerbs,
Yeah,
Gerbil. So that's pretty
I
much the
watched the
group.
gerbil run race the other day, and he was impressive. I was very impressed.
I've seen a
he-
gerbil do some crazy shit myself.
Well, but the 4 of us are on here the most out of anybody, but we got about
Yeah.
8 total guys that are active right now.
And then
Yeah,
we
they-
work. Then we work together
Yeah,
quite a
and
bit
then-
on the weekends to get our setups.
What are you doing for setups? You guys are just mixing stuff together.
making
changing
them.
Stuff?
Yeah, Rick and Scott Austin and myself and who else? Robert.
Yeah, I do very little
Tracy,
change. I do
Tracy
very
does a
little
lot of
changes.
helping on those too.
And
I've been
then-
trying to
and
get
then we
Robert
s-
to run fixed forever. He will not do it.
And then
I
we
used
still,
to. I used to. But
and
not
then we
no more.
still have all the bases from last year that Doug Bell built. I mean, Doug was a great builder. I mean, all joking
Yeah,
aside, and all
Corey,
the
yeah.
stuff that
Yes.
and all the issues that he had in iRacing and stuff and everything with everybody. As far as he was a great builder and he built a
yeah.
lot of fast
This
stuff.
stuff's fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fast, and so we still have all.
I like
those
to
that-
have it.
We got these base sets, and that's what we're.
I
building
like
out
to
there.
have those. Is that what you give your people come on the show? You get the Doug
We
Bell
don't-
starter
No.
kit?
No, you get to check
You-
out our merch store.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you get Doug's base set and plus a T-shirt. Yeah, we're
Nice.
showing that. Yeah.
Hey, if anybody needs t-shirts or you guys do want team shirts and stuff, I make t-shirts and vinyl and all that stuff.
We were
too.
talking about it, getting like alien.
Oh,
heads. Tracy
oh.
calls everybody that watches our alien heads. We get like
Yeah, I
alien
do
head
that.
T-shirts.
I can
I
make
wa-
those.
I
that'd be cool.
wanted a sexy
take
one
one.
with Big Boo Betty and how she puts the mustard on their hot dog. But
You guys talked to his probation officer lately?
So anyway,
I was accused of doing acid and heroin.
Oh
And-
yeah,
Oh,
LSD.
Here we
League
go.
race. Yeah, league race.
Yeah, it's our Thursday night league race. Robert gets his mad worked up starting about 3 or 4 hours before the race starts, and then when the race starts, he just lets it all out on the whole everybody in the race.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
mad.
stewing by then.
Yeah,
I hate
He's-
that league. I hate that league. I hate everybody on that league. I paid my
Race
30.
league's totally
I came
different.
up with
I
a rule
paid
that we
my
can't
30.
talk anymore. We can
Yeah.
only say nice things and be polite on the radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
another problem with iRacing is this whole I'm offended movement.
they
Well,
God.
It's all right for some of these guys to talk, but once I open my mouth up, it was supposed to be race shout only.
Well, Robert, you're annoying. I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah, I know. EOL.
Yeah, that's what he says every time there's a caution. Who's getting the EOL? Who's getting the EOL?
Apparently, they're not listening.
Well, they get it. They get the EOL most of the time.
I'm trying to find Tracy on here because I have a feeling there's a couple races we raced together that were memorable, and I saved them.
Well, I got to tell you a story about this.
Mike's got one.
Yeah, here's a story about me and Tracy. This is so funny. So this is before we ever met. Okay, ever hooked up? Because we were doing the old.
Don't say hooked up. Jesus.
Well,
sounds
anyway,
sexual, huh?
we were doing this. I was doing my Sim Cave racing stuff, and Tracy had Area 51, and we had met through a couple of guys that were friends in between the teams. And
well, before that, we met through a couple of
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So but this was way before that. That's how me and Tracy got together on iRacing. But way before that, when I first got on, Brandon, back in my first couple of months on iRacing, back before I think you guys even realized exactly who I was, we were in Indianapolis. It was the first time I ever raced Indy, and I think I just got my B license. I only had it for a few weeks, and I was on there and I was doing my thing. And Tracy was there, like he was there restarting with me. And I did something that really got on his nerves, and he punted me. Okay. And the next in that first lap after the restart, and I'll let him tell his side of it here in a second, but this is my side. It's like, it was so dirty. I thought that I saved the replay. I still have it. I saved it and put Rumschlad dirty driver or something on the replay.
You still have any with me in them?
I probably do.
Yeah,
I think I still got that one from Nashville saved. But anyway,
what really happened, Tracy?
Yeah, so that was my side. But then years, like after we got together on here and formed and joined up and started doing Area 51 together, he brought it up. He says, Mike, I think I remember this time, blah, 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 blah. And I said, wait a minute, I think I still got that saved. I get back and we watched the replay together. It was hilarious. So
did he explain it to you then when he watched the replay, what you really did?
Here's Tracy's side of the story. Tracy, go ahead.
So he's aggressive the whole time. Even on the initial start, he was somewhere around me.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, but on the restart, he's like being super aggressive, like those guys that have to speed up and jam on their brakes, like they're really heating up their tires or doing something and swerving back and forth and just hogging up the whole lane. And it's like, man, this guy's just a missile, you know? So we take off because I know he's going to be a bat out of fire, you know, just taking off and just sending it. So I give him the lane. He goes up in front of me, slides up, which I knew he was gonna. So I didn't want to be part of that. So we go through 1 and 2. We're going down the back straightaway, and he's right with me. And I know he's going to send it into 3s. He's like, oh, I'm not going to send it into 3. So I'm racing with somebody else. We're up towards the top 5. I don't remember who else it was, but I'm racing this guy and I'm racing Mike as well. And Mike is just a jam car because I can't get to the other guy to pass him with Mike being there because I don't know where he's at.
Right.
So
he doesn't either.
Yeah, right. So he sends it into 3 and he cuts across both of us, the guy I'm racing and Mike himself, and across my nose. And now he's on the outside of turn 3. Well, the wall's coming up. The guy's on the inside of me at my door. I can't go anywhere. So what I do is I just hook Mike on the left rear and just send him to the Armco across both of our noses, and he's parked in the Armco, and we go off on our merry way. And
I would have made the same decision you made.
Yeah, I mean, because we were running out of real estate. He was either going to just smash into both of us, you know, the other two guys, and just make a trash show out of it. And it was like, nah, I got to get rid of the guy. So I just hooked him and let him go.
Yeah, you forgot the part about how you said I was revving my engine up beside Joe. And
yeah, he's revving it up and just sending it, jamming on the brakes.
Love the sound of these cars. Woo!
So yeah, that's
hey, listen, about everybody that I'm friends with on iRacing now, Brandon. How I met him, the story almost always starts out with I wrecked them or they wrecked me, or we
isn't that crazy? It's like Deja Mike or something. Like, you don't know that?
Yeah. Mike has raced we're a wreck just about every top guy.
Like Lance Armstrong talking about apologizing. Everybody said he didn't do steroids too or something.
Well, remember whenever we were running with Jason Laney there for a while, Tracy, and
there's another weapon.
And I told you, I was like, well, the first time I met him, I turned him to win in Vegas. I dumped him on the last lap to win.
You can't figure out why he didn't want to race with you anymore, huh?
Yeah. Well, no. Then we started talking. We became friends for a little bit. And he came in here and raced with us for a while. And you used to race with him some. And then he always told me he didn't care, but he owed me one. And then when he left the team, the next race he wrecked me to get me back. And he says that's my payback.
Man, you feel like a lot when you try to be careful and take stuff serious. When you try to really look at it for what it is and not a game, like a lot of these guys do. You spend a lot of time driving more than one person's car. You spend a lot of time going, this idiot's doing this, so I have to do this so they can get through. Like you're just like that video of that lady grabbing that baby before it falls down the stairs. Like that's what I feel like I'm doing. Is this baby flies past me into the corner? I've got to hang on, I'll move so you can not hit the wall. Like it's
yes. You got to buy.
the guys. You know the guys I like. I like the ones who
got like all the guys.
They try to they try to block you. You know.
Yeah.
On every corner. So I will deal with that for a couple laps, and I will figure out how am I going to get around them. And usually I can position myself in the entry of the corner to get a great exit and just dive below them on exit and be done with them.
It's almost
some people have
like,
a
why
bad
waste your
definition
time
of blocking
and my time?
too.
Or they want to race me side by side after I done caught them from 5 seconds back. And now you're going to sit there and race me for what?
That's Max, Carlton Wong. That's Brett Inskeep. There's a plethora of those that will force you to be like in a New Hampshire on the inside lane where it's not fast when they know that they can't. They'll just hang on you forever.
Hey, I got a super funny quick Brett Inskeep story. Brett comes in every once in a while. He's a nice guy, but he frustrates me on the track sometimes. And he used to come in every once in a while. He still does every once in a while, pop in. And we were racing together somewhere. He was doing that to me. What Scotty was just saying.
Yeah.
And I got and he was in Discord with me. And at one point in time, I think I just blurted out and said something to him, out of frustration. And I don't know if we end up getting wrecked or whatever. I can't remember now, but he's gone. Don't see him forever. He pops in like 3 months later and says, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "Well, I thought you were mad at me, so I didn't come around." I'm like, dude, I wasn't necessarily mad. I was just frustrated. I was like, what was the point of what you
That's
were
a lot of younger guys though, too. It's like people that have left your team or you've had issues with. People don't like confrontation, so they'll not talk to each other for 6 months.
Scotty and I would get mad.
Brett's not
daily.
on our team. Brett's not on our team. He never has been. He's on pay to win, has been for a long time. But he would pop in and say hi every once in a while.
How many people are on that team?
I don't know. You have to go to their Discord.
How many teams is there now?
Ton. I don't know.
I don't get the team thing. I really don't.
Well,
we're like you guys. I wouldn't call it much of it. We contribute to each other what we can. We show up when we have time, and we just help each other and hang out. Like
I haven't seen you use promo code Mike on anything in a while.
No, it's been a long time. I used to make everybody mad.
You want to drive like me? Get this set up, man. No,
promo code Mike. Promo code Mike, 10% off.
10% off your fucking car.
I heard they can't do that anymore, right? They can't. iRacing doesn't want you to do that anymore.
iRacing don't pay attention to anything. You could be spouting Al Qaeda.
Somebody's got to turn you in, and you got to do it a bunch. Like I got turned in for spamming one time because I did.
He turned me in 8 times before they finally got me. I think.
Oh, Mike got suspended. 3 times?
Damn, you got suspended 3 times.
For what? No, I didn't. What are you talking about, Scotty?
Yeah, you did, and then you managed to explain your side.
Yeah.
You did that twice, I think.
I've never actually gotten a suspension.
Yeah, the NIM files.
Mike talked his way out.
I used to have regular. I used to have regular conversation with NIMs.
Yeah, he has
write a check.
He has.
Did the check go to NIM? Like, did you write that on the check? You have like another name.
No, but I've had 3 conversations with him since I've been on iRacing.
You know it's him.
Personal conversation. Oh, he has his phone number.
Okay.
He has NIM's number.
I always respond to the emails like he's reading them. I'm always like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't tell me. I can't I'll say this is this by your little sporting code with the.
The first conversation I had with NIMS because he suspended me for a week was that Darlington incident we're talking about where I missed the pits.
That's one way of saying it. Yeah,
and a caution came out and
just came out.
Yeah, it just came out, and then
Black man dropped the caution,
and then I ended up winning the race.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then everybody and their brother protested me.
Yeah, I made sure that every single person protested.
Yeah, I got a week for that, but I'm gonna tell you, Brandon, I got that replay saved still, but I'm telling you guys,
it's the absolute
truth. First of all, I only stopped for just a split second on
That's
the
all
track.
it takes.
And second of all, if you look, there was 5 cars going by me. I was literally trying to hold my brakes so I didn't wreck anybody.
Alt
I wasn't
F4.
Huh?
Alt F4.
No, that's back when I
Why?
was protecting my
You
rating. I didn't wanna lose
ruined your ability to win that race by missing the pits. You're not going to win. Then you screwed up everybody else who didn't screw up the race by staying out and being on caution.
And then
Sliding
this
past
poor
the
salt
pits,
in the wound, I won the
Alt
race.
F4. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
So anyway,
So
but-
see, if he did all that 4, he wouldn't have won the race.
Exactly.
So anyway, so I ended up asking to talk about it. So Nim calls me and he watches it and he was basically like, yeah, I didn't see the other 5 cars, and yeah, I do believe.
What do the
you.
other 5 cars have to do with anything?
Well, I was trying not to wreck them.
You're just trying to
Every-
completely destroy the rest of the race, but not those 5 individual cars.
That, and I didn't want to get wrecked either. And I'm racing VR, so I can't hit Alt F4. I don't even know where Alt F4's at. I mean, I got something over my head. So
I'm
anyway,
going to show you where Alt F4 is at.
well, no, but we got VR on, you can't see the keyboard.
You're
So
not still doing
anyway,
VR,
but
are you?
basically he was like, Mike, I get it, I believe you, but these guys are mad because you end up winning the race and you can't do that. He was like, even though you weren't like trying to rig anything, I believe you, but you can't do it. So he says, here's what I'm gonna do. He goes, don't
He's
do it
pretty
again.
dense.
He's like, I believe you, you weren't doing it on purpose, but don't do it again. And he lifted my suspension. I was
Did
suspended
you
like
feel
1
bad
day.
then? That it was
Huh?
so easy to make him believe you didn't do it on
No,
purpose?
I
Feel
didn't,
bad at all?
Brandon. I'm telling. What have I got
Don't
to
you
lose
first
by
name me
lying?
like you're my mother?
What have I got to lose today? It was
A win
year-
in a week of iRacing?
It was it was a year and a half ago.
Was it that
It
long
got
ago?
taken off.
It's
Like
been a while.
if I really tried to game it, I'd just say, yeah, I did that on purpose because I was trying to game the win of the race.
Honestly, Al,
What do I have to lose today is talk about a year and a half
You're
ago or
right.
something.
nothing.
Like
you're
I'm
right.
telling you, it was I had no race. I didn't know. I just knew that, hey, oh crap, I slid out there about to wreck everybody. And everybody was mad at me back then anyway. I was trying to clean up.
No,
my
they're still
racing.
mad.
Well, I probably. I was, and I was
Still
trying to
thing.
clean up my racing at that time. So I was like, the worst thing I wanted is to sit here and gas it up and slide around, wreck everybody.
Yeah,
And hitting all that F4 never crossed my mind. And,
right.
and
I'm
so
sure
I,
it didn't.
So,
Very
so I
selfless
locked,
act.
so I locked it up to try to keep from causing a massive wreck.
Yeah.
And it ended up making everybody even more mad at me because of what happened. So like,
I know.
it
It's
was, it was
okay.
rough. Everybody
It's all
was
right.
super mad.
No, they're
Nim-
still super mad.
Dude, Nim told me I got like 12 protests over that.
Yeah, he chatted that, right? Because he's never spoke like with
No,
his
he
mouth.
called me on the phone.
Oh, I was thinking. Never mind. You're right, Nim. I was thinking somebody else.
And then
Yeah,
the next time I talked to him was some stupid crap that Doug Bell got me in.
I heard about that too, but I only
Yeah,
speak English, so I don't know exactly.
It
What they were
was
saying.
as Drupal was. We were ganging up, and Doug said some racist
Oh
stuff
yeah,
about-
oh yeah.
And then they examined my account, suspended my chat for 3 months. When I've never had a single
Off something
chat
you
complaint.
said on Discord, right?
No,
Not
it was
iRacing.
in the race. For me,
Okay.
it was in the race.
I was,
Doug
but for
was
him, it was
Discord
something
too.
in Discord. See, I don't
Yes.
agree with that. I don't agree
Well,
with
it
that.
was in the race too. It was combined.
okay.
He said it in the race, and then somebody turned. It was all of it combined for 10. But
Right.
anyway,
God.
they looked me up, and he'd already had a 3-month chat suspension, and they give me one because they thought I was him. Because the steward who was doing it messed up.
I thought you were him too.
The steward that was doing it was messed up and had both of them up at the same time and give me a punishment. I never had a chat complaint before that. Well, anyway, Nim called me up and apologized, and Nim called me up and apologized and give me my chat back.
So you won both your appeals.
Yeah. And
That's
then
cool.
and then
You ever seen his
I've lost
replies?
appeals though
On,
before too.
he writes a page and a half when he
And then
gets,
the third
That's how
time,
to
the
do
third
it.
time I
That's how you
talked to
do it.
Nim was like 2 or 3 days after that when Doug was trying to appeal his, and Nim came into our
Yeah, I
Discord.
heard about
and
that
Doug was
too.
wanting to show
Yeah.
him some replays and stuff, and basically, Doug didn't win that.
No.
I was in here giving Doug some technical help to show him the replays of whatever, Nim the replays and stuff, and then basically told Doug, "No, dude, no."
I wish there was
really
an
said all
outlet like I know it's not gonna be Nim. I mean, he's probably busy, got potato chips all over his fingers and stuff, but somebody else that could watch. I don't know why iRacing, I know they cannot afford to have a moderator in every race, in every split.
Well,
Just
here's
to
the
watch.
thing,
And
too.
if something
Oth-
egregious or crazy happens, they can handle it right then. There's
other online communities, they let
agree 100%.
they let the people, like the other players in
Yeah.
the game,
And there could be
moderate
like
to
a
point.
special thing, like you got a little thing next to your name. You're a respect to trust the person. You're a moderator in this race, whatever. And
Yeah.
you don't handle stuff that involves you. But
Yeah.
the stuff that happens in these races and nobody's there to go, you can't do that. This service doesn't allow that is ridiculous. You know what I mean? The amount of
Yeah.
times that you've just completely destroyed the sporting code and wiped your ass with it. is just, it's uncountable, and
Yeah.
no, you've been a lot better.
Yeah, I tried.
I don't know about your road racing, but your oval race has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, he's not
It did.
he's not a dart without feathers anymore.
I started really making an effort when Tracy got a hold of me back probably January of 21, and then January, February, and it took, I don't know, Trace, took about a year really for me to
Well,
really get
and we
it.
knew it though, and that's why we broke it down the way we did, because it wasn't gonna be an overnight fix.
No,
This
it was
Because
about
you
a
were
year.
still thinking like the old way view, you know what I
Like
mean?
Kyle Busch. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the last 6 months, I'd say I've gotten myself pretty patient most of the time and understand the racecraft a bit.
But the biggest thing that you did is you got away from just driving one thing all the time.
Yep.
So
I only did be open. That's all I did. Now
Yeah.
I do like
Yes.
everything in iRacing.
That's
Yeah.
important. It's important to race everything.
It
I
is.
think it is.
Yeah,
Get my
absolutely.
age, and you don't want to do that.
Robert's
make it
wheel
to
don't
your
turn
age-
right.
Yeah, I won't make it to your age, dude. The government pays me so much a month that they'll off me when I make it to your age.
So
I
Brandon,
want to be one of the oldest iRating guys around.
Tracy's got to get up in the morning. We don't want to keep him too long.
Yeah, I
but Brandon,
appreciate it, guys. It's fun.
It's been a
Thanks.
fun podcast, man. It's just been great having you on. It's been a ball. We love it, and we had a lot of viewers, guys making comments. It's been a great.
Oh,
The
I'm gonna have
podcast.
to read
the
that.
chat's been lit up.
Yeah,
so
the chat's been lit up.
Oh, well,
and,
here's some of them.
well,
go back and
I'll
read
read
it.
them. I'll read them.
Ron's tried to heckle him here in the last 15 minutes,
You
but I
don't know. I
haven't read
can't
him.
see it. He's just as old as you are, Robert.
He says,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Ron, I'll tell you some things he said. Ron says, talk about some stories. He says, tell him to tell the story about his time in prison and the lipstick trick. And then he said,
"Oh, that's a terrible one." You know,
and I
we don't have
said,
time for
no,
that.
I'm not telling that story. I said, plus, I said, Robert's distracting him enough.
I'm about to
And
go
then he
back. I got court next week.
Yeah, and then, then he
What's
said,
everybody laughing about?
and then he says, or the time that he used to dress like a Barbie doll.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
just means shoes and my hair in a ponytail and lipstick. I guess I don't know. All my Barbie dolls were naked.
Looks like
growing
you got all kind of hair that's gonna go back in a ponytail, about like
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Mine's on the sides though. It could come back.
Well, I used to sport a beard, not as long as yours, but I had one there for the
You got
longest
tired
time
of
during
paying for
COVID.
haircuts. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like no, I started losing hair in the middle here, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna lose some there, I'm just gonna get rid of all of it. And I hate, dude, I hate that old school bald look with like hair on the sides. You grow out the hair on the sides a little bit. You got
Oh,
this
you
bald
like mine? You want the long?
Yeah,
hair
but
on the
yours is
side?
3.5 foot long on the side.
Yeah, it is
yes, it
literally.
is,
His
it
hair is like 3 feet long on the side. No, but I just mean the old look, the old guys that had the just regular hair here and then the big ball. I hate that. So I just said I'm gonna take it all off if it ever happens to me.
So who's your
Yeah.
next guest?
Next week we got Tracy. You got somebody lined up next week, don't you?
No, I don't have anybody. I got to reach out to Sim Experience and see if they want to come over and do their spot.
I want to have.
Oh, I know who it is. I was gonna have. I was thinking about Kim Byron's got this new app on their site, and I talked to him about coming on it. They call it the Ryko Performance Center or Performance something or other.
yeah.
But anyway, it's like VRS. They got telemetry in there now, and you can actually pull the telemetry files of their team drivers to see
Have
what
you
they're
talked
doing.
to Ricky Thompson, the guy that made
He
State
came on a
Analyzer?
couple.
Yeah,
he
he was on a
was
couple
on
weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, he was
I'll
on like
check him
3
out.
weeks ago. Yeah,
I
so
love
I
State
think
Analyzer. I
I'm
use
gonna
that.
talk to Ken, see if
Yeah, we had
Ken
him.
will come on.
And that
talk
girl in the
to-
Yeah,
chat.
I like
that runs that
Skin
next
Analyzer and Motec.
You got to get that MS5 girl.
Yeah, well, Kayla wrote back and said when she gets in her new house, she said she's moving. She wrote back.
You
in the
come live
chat.
at my
She said-
house. I got 2 rooms.
Yeah,
Extra.
she said when
Nobody's
she
in 'em.
gets in her new house that she'll come over and do the MX5 stuff with us, and maybe we can talk her to come on the podcast. Then.
Awesome.
Oh, she wants to come on the podcast. I don't think that's a thing. She hasn't decided yet, but I think she's ready.
Yeah, and then, honest to goodness, I'd like to have Ron Walsh on.
Yeah. Guys just
he
coming back
has
from a
a
heart
cool
attack.
story.
all
Yeah,
kinds of
that's
stuff, yeah.
yep. Coming,
I want to have drivers that we
I
all
want you to stop
race.
scaring the shit out of me when you start. I just
Oh.
scream.
Yeah,
Am I
he
yelling?
talks and that dog just like bursts up. Like
Man, Cujo has something to say.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to have more drivers. I'll try to get Matt Booth. No, I'm not gonna get.
Are you trying to get little E?
Text me. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, Matt Booth, I know, but Mike.
Does he know it?
Yeah, I
Well-
talk about his mom a lot. Mike Bruno, and trying to get him, but I guess I want drivers that we all race around that are steady racing all the time, because I like to have them on the podcast.
Get Mike Cook on. Do an
I,
hour with
I
Mike
always
Cook.
Oh
enjoy
no!
racing
Oh
with
my!
Ron.
I can't do it.
He's always been good
Ron
racing.
likes
Yeah.
to come from the back and come.
Ron's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ron's a
I
good one
watched
to
my
have.
I watched my
And-
relative. I see Ron coming up through the back,
And
and I
I-
look in my mirror, and I'm like, okay,
You
there's
married one of your
Ron.
relatives, Scott. You don't just watch them.
Huh?
he didn't get it. Don't worry. But the other reason is, I mean, everybody was worried about Ron when he had his heart
Yeah.
attack. So it'd be good to have him come on and talk about everything. It'd be good if he'd like to. And
Well, I
know Ron's
appreciate you
still
guys having me
watching.
on. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I'm
So
gonna
I
smoke
guess
a pack
guys,
of cigarettes and wreck some Formula V's.
there you go. I might race some with you here in a few minutes.
All
if
right.
you want.
2.5 hours here, I guess. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get
I'll do
off
Formula
here
V. That sounds
tonight.
like fun.
Let's
do it.
let's do a quick round table on the way out. Robert, got anything to add before we get out of here tonight?
I'm just waiting for Junior to give me a call to get on here.
Well, you keep working on that. You
I
can talk
actually
about
could
that
get a
before
hold of him
starting.
if you really were trying to. I probably could get. I have some contacts down there still.
Robert's been trying
he's
to
awful
since we
busy.
started our podcast. Yeah,
He is on a
Yeah.
podcast. You hear everything he has to say. Like
Well,
get
I know.
somebody who doesn't
I
do
know.
podcasts.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, well, I just thought it would boost ours up. We're gonna have Junior. We're gonna have
So
Junior.
you wanted to use Junior
That's
for his
right.
popularity.
Yeah.
No, I just think he's a cool guy. I'd like to talk to him. Like, I've been in a couple of
Oh.
dirt races with him, and he's been really cool, just funny and cool. If
Yeah.
guys will leave him alone,
I
sometimes
had
I
a
don't
race
leave him
in,
alone.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
race-
this? Is that really Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Every
Yeah.
race?
I
God,
raced,
He's like,
yeah.
yeah, and then when you
Yeah.
hear his voice, it's no doubt. You know, it's like
Back
definitely
in
him.
2002 and 2003, he was some pirates a lot, and I raced. Well,
he was a
you know,
pirate.
a pirates. I call
Oh,
it.
okay.
And I raced with him, a lot during 2:00 in the morning and all that stuff. And that's
Leave that stuff for the biography when you write your book, Robert.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Well, we had
Just-
Junior. We had Junior there. We had Truex there. We had Hamlin in there racing. We're all racing.
I think he was like 11 in
Who,
2002.
me.
Denny Hamlin.
No,
I don't know. I was in my 40s, so I guess he was. I don't know.
Scotty,
Sorry.
anything else real quick you want to ask Brandon before we let him go and we close out the podcast?
Yeah, ask me what my favorite color is, Scott. I'll tell you.
Blue.
Purple.
I'll take that as a no.
Allerton's is
Hey,
yellow when he misses the pits.
Yeah. No, I'd like to say it's been awesome to see you to rise up like you have, and I'm happy for you.
I appreciate it.
Enjoy racing with you too.
Hopefully you guys will have me back on when I piss it all away here soon.
Absolutely. we tell some guys that if they're road to pro, we'll have them back when they make pro. But whenever you get back down below 3,000, we'll have you back. Tell us about that journey too.
Yep.
I'll
Behind
be
the
up
music.
there. I'll be up there at 4,000 soon.
well, they wouldn't
you'll
believe,
get there.
time. Yeah.
they
Okay,
wouldn't
then.
believe how much you used to ride in the back. You just rode in the back. I don't know, for years.
It's just
Yeah.
not worth it. I've only been on here for 2 years. We mean years.
Yeah,
Time goes
yeah,
by real.
yeah, it's like
Well,
been
you've been
for
riding in the back
decades
since
like
I
you,
know
Robert.
you. Yeah, I guess.
All right, Tracy, you got anything you want to
Oh,
ask or say
yeah.
to Brandon before we quit?
First, hang around a few minutes after the show. I want to compare some notes with you, but
Okay.
it was great to meet you, man. It really was. I've heard a lot about you. These guys talked about you all the time and telling me, what's going on. I want to get you on the show because I was trying to get something to put together for the show with you. And just listening to your story and everything you've done and where you've been, where you came from and what you do now, it's amazing. That's what we want for this type of show. We want people to show interest in iRacing. Obviously, we're not here just to promote iRacing though, but more of a community environment. And that's what you really gave tonight, was that community feel, that there's guys that are out there that feel the same pain that we do, but just attack it a different way, have a whole different mindset. And that's the grind that I had to go through with Mike, trying to teach him the racecraft, that real world racing doesn't compare with iRacing. We've got that with guests that we've had in the past, whether it be Tommy Gossett, or who's our dirt guy?
Nathan Waddell.
Nathan.
Yeah.
And they all tell the same story regardless of what they're driving. And if we can convey that to people that watch, it's just going to be that much more fun. It's not going to be so toxic. And that's the biggest thing. And you guys have shared stories of the toxicity in iRacing and the chat and everything else. And everybody takes it personal. And at the end of the day, you make the same money. You didn't come home with nothing.
Right. Well, I appreciate it, man. It was fun.
Yeah, we would definitely like to have you back at some point, later down the road, whatever. But yeah, it's been a great podcast. The chat's been blown up. We've got a lot of people that have been watching, so that's good. And they've stayed the whole time. We're on 2.5 hours now, and it's been nonstop. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, guys. Well, that's going to be the podcast for the night. Listen, if y'all haven't done so yet, we appreciate you hit the subscribe button. Our goal is to become a YouTube partner here by the end of the year, beginning of next year, and we're right on track for that. So every subscription really helps us. So if you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button. Also, there's a bell icon to get notified. You hit that and get notified anytime that we put up new content here on the channel. And down in the description below, always check that out. There's all kind of goodies for you guys on the way out. We've got an affiliate link to Major's Garage. Highly recommend their $10 all access pass. They have great MX5 setups and some road stuff. They got setups for almost everything. They also offer free baseline plus setups that you can get, tinker with, build your own sets off them. Then we also have osracing.net. You can go and they have oval setups, both dirt and asphalt, that are free and community supported. And Edwards Garage or Edwards Setup Shop. Sorry, Edwards Setup Shop. There's a link down there for them. They have like a very active Discord, 2,600, 2,700 members, all community supported setups. They're free. You can get those there. They have setups for almost everything. And then we also have a 10% off promo code for Maconi Setup Shop down there in the description. That's area 51 with no space, area the number 51, get you 10% off of non-subscription purchases whenever you check out at Maconi Setup Shop. Guys, that is the podcast for the night. This is episode 13 of the Alien Factory podcast. Our special guest tonight was Brandon Burkhart from FastLane Racing. We are so glad that y'all tuned in with us, and we are so glad to have you here at Area 51. And as always, we will see you in the next one.